Hello, are we live? We are indeed live. All right. Perfect. Perfect indeed. Mm, Let me just check some stuff and then we'll. Mm-hmm. All right then. Looks like everything should be fine. That's good. That is very good. Although I did forget I need to do one thing. First. Just in case, because I assume people are going to have a question eventually. So then it is important that I go in here and do something for the rules that I'm going to be doing for this. Because obviously, as you can see on screen right now, I'm going to be picking the top 25 anime of all time. Not actually the top 25 anime of all time. This is basically going to be me going through 100, yeah, 100 shows that I've picked out. We're not going to go super detailed through anything like that, but what I'm going to essentially do is I'm going to go through them, talk a little, we're going to just quickly talk about them and then place them on a list of the top 25 anime of all time. And what I want to essentially achieve with this is I want to see, one, how it changes over time, because one of the rules that I will have for this is basically a show has to be, as long as there's still an empty space on the top 25, a show will have to be put on the list. And yeah, so the show basically has to be put on the list, and whether it goes above or below something, we can discuss that. And as long as there's still sort of 25 uh, spaces, or as long as there's still empty spaces within the top 25, a show will always have to go on the list. The only time a show will not go on the list is whenever, all 25 spaces are filled, and it is so decided that the show in question does not belong, in which case it would come 26 or lower, and yeah. But all shows until the 25 first have been filled has to be put on the list. It's basically what I had in mind, although I originally also had in mind to make something a little bit more graphic, but sadly, my idea didn't quite work out, so we're gonna have to deal with a just basic spreadsheet, which I will show you in a little bit. But yeah, first I'm gonna write down some rules real quick, and we can pin that so that in case anybody has any questions, they can refer to the rules there, and then we can really, yeah, I guess then it's just getting started. Let's see here. What are the rules? How do I word this simply? I don't want to write too much. Top 25 TV anime. Okay. We think that is it. You know what? Fuck it. Let's get some music in here as well. Just so we have something. You can have something to listen to that isn't my voice. Let me know if the music is too loud, by the way. Or if it's ever overpowering my voice. Then I can adjust that. Um. mm, I guess that should be simple enough, right? And I can pin that? I can indeed pin that. Alright then. There we go. And then I guess we can remove this. So, basically, this is just what it looks like right now. And this is what I mean by the top 25. So essentially, putting in any of these shows, which we will be going through in basically one by one. It's not going to be like a pick out one type of show deal, and then putting it on. We're going to go through the entire list, and no, I'm going to try to avoid spending a lot of time on each of them. However, I will sort of quickly go through it and give my reasons for why I think, or which place I think it would deserve. And, you know, you guys are always free to just sort of, you know, disagree with me. You can come up with your own reasoning and you can try to convince me, you know, if I'm wrong at all. But as long as, as long as a show, like one of these spaces is open, what I essentially mean by that is like, let's say we have a show put in at 24, right? And we have something at 25, but nothing at 23, or even above that. Then the question then becomes, you know, does it go in above? Does a similar show that we then decide, or I decide, belongs at the 24th, it will go in there. So what happens then to the show that is already there? Does it go into the 25th spot, or does it go up? Like, is it better or worse? But as long as there's open spaces above the 24th and something below, nothing can get pushed out of the 25. It's essentially where I'm at. That was the entire plan with this. So it would then have to mean that, you know, if something goes in the 24th, then the previous show that is there cannot go into the 24th if it pushes something out. But we can work that out. Number 1 K-On? Are you already decided? We're just gonna instantly just go in there and be like, K-On, number 1, done? Screw the rest of the list. Yeah, no, it's not going to be that simple. Because, sadly, 3 to 25 doesn't really matter. You know what? I like your style. Why waste time on a top 25? Pick the best anime and maybe the second best anime, and then we go from there. We just leave it. Who cares about the rest, right? So yeah. And then basically this is just me writing to myself to remind myself. Every shonen ever ineligible for inclusion as their trash. That is... Those are fighting words. Those are definitely fighting words. I don't know if I'd say they're all trash, but, you know, there is a lot of them that I don't necessarily think would belong in the top 25 of all time. But again, like I'm saying, this has nothing to do with making the best 25, or sort of picking the best 25 of all time. It's clickbait! Oh my god. Oh my god. But yeah, nah. Again, it is just for fun, and quite frankly, the reason why I'm doing this in the first place is because, you know, as you may or may not have noticed, I haven't uploaded a video on my channel in like 2 months. Yeah, that happened. So that sucks. And I was thinking that I wasn't going to, but then I was like, you know what? I should have something to sort of close out the year with, but I'm not going to be able to sort of get a video out in time, so I figured, you know what? Sure. Let's come up with some sort of stream that we can do. I have said that I wanted to do live streams on YouTube as well, but sort of I wanted to keep sort of this channel mostly anime related, because I do stream over on Twitch occasionally, although I haven't done that in a while either. But that is mostly gaming content and stuff like that. And while I was originally planning on sort of including that in the channel, it's like it doesn't belong. A lot of people wouldn't give a shit about that, and I don't blame you. It's like it doesn't belong here, so might as well just keep that stuff separate. But yeah, but I do occasionally want to pop up with some sort of anime related stream. Hopefully, sometimes better ideas than this. But all right, it's been like 10 minutes now, and yeah. So again, quickly the rules. Top 25 TV anime of all time, which means, you know, no movies. So no Perfect Blue, no Ghibli movie, nothing like that. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear how good a silent voice is. Like, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't belong here. This is only TV anime. And the same thing goes for Legend of the Galactic Heroes, because, yes, it's amazing. Yes, it's over 100 episodes, but it does qualify as an OVA. The new one, yes, sure, it's the TV anime, but come on. Come on. Really? The new one? I don't know. Madhouse adaptation of Monster. That might be something we talk about. Yes, there's a chance. So it is already on the list, and yeah, TV anime. We're also, yeah, you, like I said, you can try to sway my opinion on stuff. I always have the last say, but you know, if you guys want to call out my taste for being bad or having wrong opinions about stuff, which, you know, I would, of course, never have, because I'm perfect. I don't have bad opinions. That doesn't happen. I'm never wrong. Couldn't happen. Couldn't be me. But, you know, maybe for some reason you guys feel like I'm completely off the mark with this one, then, yeah, you can tell me why I'm wrong. You can tell me why my taste is bad, and yes. Although, don't do that. But yeah. And as well, like I originally said, when it comes to open spots on the top 25, which is this thing, which will be filled in as we go, as long as there's open spaces on the list, you cannot knock something off the list. Basically, the first 25 things we go through on this list is going to have to go into the list, no matter what. We can decide on where exactly it actually belongs on the list, but as long as there's still open spaces, nothing can get pushed out of the top 25. So you want to have you think a show is number 25, and then we come to a later show and you think, oh no, actually that one's worse. That one belongs in the 25 and the 25th one. Well, as long as there's still spaces above 25, that would, again, mean that those shows go into that. So yeah, that is basically it. And other than that, nothing much to say. Other than, of course, as always, this list is obviously 100% objective and completely correct. And if you don't think so, or you disagree with any of the stuff on there, or for some reason you just feel like I'm targeting you with my picks or lack of picks, then just know absolutely 100% that I am definitely targeting you. Yes. I am specifically making this to spite you. Completely, definitely. Do take it to heart, please. You're a Urasawa enjoyer. Already confirmed you have peak taste. See? That's a guy that knows. That's someone who knows. Urasawa is definitely good. So yeah. So these 100 shows are collected in the most objective way possible. Meaning, I went to my anime list, I looked at shows I completed that I have given a high score and I enjoy, and I put them, I took all on 100 and put them into a list, and then jumbled them up randomly, and now they're here. So they've already been randomized. None of these are in order, meaning they're not in order of score. And of course, in order to make it even easier for me, I cannot, or easier, well, I guess it would be easier, I cannot look at my scores or anything like that, because what would be the point? I'm not going to go through my list and sort of list up like, oh, yes, I enjoyed this one more than this one. So, you know, for some things, it's definitely going to be easier to remember what I like. But, you know, there's other times where there's going to be stuff that I'm not going to remember because, you know, it's been a long time, or maybe I don't think they're that different. So we'll see. But again, you guys can always sway my opinion on no matter what it is, even if it's Queen's Blade. And yeah. So let's see. Hopefully you guys can see well, by the way. I know it's zoomed in, but that's on purpose. So yeah. The first one up really is Akage no An, and that's the I mean, it's no real surprise there. I've talked about this one many times. I've mentioned it in videos from time to time, and basically yeah, okay. Since I didn't make it clear, we're starting, so whenever you guys have any opinions or just any comments, really, just, again, type it in chat, let me know. And if I don't respond to you immediately, yell at me, I guess. I don't really have anything I can't speak. I don't really have anything to say other than that. And somebody's messaging me. Why are you messaging me? Shut up, man. All right, yeah. Goddamn. Messaging me in the middle of stream? How dare you? I'm working. That is a friend of mine. Anyway, so yeah. The first one up that we are going to go through out of the 100 shows is Akage no Ann, based on Anne of Green Gables, and it is done by Nippon Animation. And as a synopsis, you can see, I guess I can go through the synopsis on Mal. I'm not gonna like come up with my own explanation for this, but like just quickly. So the synopsis here basically just says, life isn't easy for Anne Shirley, an 11-year-old orphan with a vast imagination and a short temper. In a twist of fate, she gets taken into the Cubert house in Avonlea. The elderly occupants, Marilla and Matthew Cuthbert, Matthew Cuthbert, were looking for a young boy to help in the fields, but they were in for quite a shock when they realize Anne is a girl. Adapted from the acclaimed classic by L.M. Montgomery, Akage no Ann portrays Anne's upbringing from 11 to 17 years of age, and her encounters and separations with various people. Only time will tell what major decision Anne has to make that will change her life forever. Yeah, this is a classic, late 70s Nippon Animation from the This art gives me Ghibli studio vibes. Never seen it though. You would not be wrong actually, because as you can see here, we have people like Isao Takahata who worked on this one, as well as Hayao Miyazaki helped on the, I think it was the art and backgrounds on this one, and yeah, there's a lot of people who would go on to be really important in anime. Even Yoshiyuki Tomino worked on this one. So it's like Ichiro Itano, Itano Circus, if you've ever heard of that one, or that, it's a technique. Yeah, Hayao Miyazaki did layout and setting, right? Like, so this is basically from Nippon Animation back when a lot of these people who would go on to be great anime greats were basically still starting out, still finding their spot. So yeah, you're not wrong for saying that it gives you Ghibli vibes. It definitely would. And yeah, it is a slice of life. It is a slice of life portraying the life of Anne Shirley. And in general, even though it only has a 7.75, I think that is an absolute disgrace. This show is great. The way it just portrays Anne going from small, halfway starved girl, 11-year-old girl who just wants to find a family, to growing up to being an adult and finding out what she wants to do in her life, and making room for herself. And then eventually also having to sort of come to terms with sacrifices she has to make. I definitely think this is a great show. And that is why, for me, when it comes to where I would put this, I would definitely put this very high up. Would I put it at number one, though? I don't think I would. I don't think I would put it all the way up at 1. I'm thinking somewhere between number 5 and number 3. Mal rating should not be taken into account. Mal ratings never should be taken into account, I agree. Some things are rated way higher than they should, and other things, well, let's not even talk about that. Mal ratings exist as sort of a aggregate for like what people generally think of a show, but I would never use it as like a classification of what show is actually good. How seasonal Mal is, I guess. That's a pretty high rating for anything from the 70s. I mean, yeah. No, you're not wrong. Considering fact. But I mean, I guess. I don't really know. I don't really think most people actually look at what came out in the 70s, though. Like, you would have to have at least some sort of interest in older anime to go to Mal and bother watching Akage no Ann. But yeah. But for me, I think I would definitely start by putting it in. Can't type. 3 ends? Am I okay? Putting it at 3rd for now. Again, these ratings are not final, and they will be pushed around. It could end up in 25th. It could end up outside of the top 25. Who knows? But this is sort of where I feel just going into it. So, If you have any reasons to disagree with me, or, you know, you think I'm wrong, then by all means, let me know. Put a comment. Tell me why I'm wrong. And if your opinion is, well, I haven't seen it, well, then that's too bad. Because, again, I have the final say. And I have seen it, and I like this one. All right. So that would be the first one. And the next one on the list is Gosick, which, man, I haven't seen Gosick in a long-ass time. I was actually surprised to see it even make it into my top 100. It was one of the things I considered chopping off of it when I was shortening it down, because I originally actually pulled more than 100 shows, but I was like, I think 100 is a good stopping point. Originally, I only went with like my absolute highest ratings, which is basically the 10s and the 9s on Mal, but it was kind of, it seemed kind of pointless to like rank, what, 37 shows into the top 25. It was like, that doesn't really make it that fun, because it's not that big of a choice, I guess. But yeah, but we'll see. We will see. Gosick is a 24-episode TV series from 2011 by Bones, based on a light novel. It's drama, mystery, romance. And the synopsis, according to Mal: Kazuya Kujo is a foreign student at St. Margaret Academy, a luxurious boarding school in the southern European country of Seville. Originally from Japan, his jet black hair and dark brown eyes caused his peers to shun him and gave him the nickname Black Reaper, based on a popular urban legend about a traveler who brings death in the spring. On a day like any other, Kujo visits the school's extravagant library in search of ghost stories. However, his focus soon changes as he becomes curious about a golden strand of hair on the stairs. The steps lead him up to a large garden and a beautiful doll-like girl known as Victorique de Blois. Excuse my pronunciation, because I'm going to butcher French pronunciation. I'm not French. I've gotten comments on this before, particularly whenever I refer to Lupin, because people don't like the way I say Lupin, and yeah. Anyways, whose complex and imaginative foresight allows her to predict the futures, now intertwined. With more mysteries quickly developing, including the appearance of a ghost ship and an alchemist with the power of transmutation, Victorique and Kujo, bound by fate and their unique skills, have no choice but to rely on each other. So unsurprisingly, this is a mystery show. Very popular. It's got an 8.06 on Mal, man. That's a good score. It's like a 7 in any other. 25 is such a basic number. Go for a Chad Prime, like that is 37. You know what? Retro Anime Mike, you're right. I should have gone for the top 37. What was I thinking? Why top 25? Why such a basic number? Hell, why stop at a full number? Why stop at 37? Why not go for the top 37.8 anime of all time? Why 0.8? Why not? Yeah. Gosick. Man, this is a show I have not seen. Like, it came out in 2011, and I'm pretty goddamn sure that I watched this in like 2014. It has been a long-ass time. So I am definitely not going to claim that I remember too much about this show. I do remember liking it. I do remember finding it to be a very interesting setting. However, I would not feel comfortable to say that I would remember that this holds up as I remember it. That is definitely not it. But I do have my own rules. And my own rules tells me that this should then probably be at 25. Because as we all know, this is an objective list. Objective ratings only. If you don't remember the details, it's probably not that memorable of a story. Yes, I would agree with that. However, I would also sort of argue that once it's been a certain while, and when you've seen a lot of anime, you are going to forget details of stuff you even like a lot, because goddamn, it's been a long time. I said 2014, like it's almost 10 years since I watched it. I'm not going to remember a show perfectly 10 years later. However, it is worth noting, I've never felt the need to rewatch it, which probably means that I'm not... I just realized something. I've been talking that I'd turn on music, but I never actually turned it on. Can you tell that I'm a professional streamer? There you go. Now you can hear it too, not just me. So, but yeah, nah. I watched it, I enjoyed it, and I never actually felt the need to rewatch it. So, yeah, I feel pretty confident to say that for now, I would put this in 25. And it will probably fall out of the list. So, you know, if you have any objections, by all means, let me know. A good I see, get Sack up there, good. Yes, standalone complex. Again, like I said, because of the rules, no movie. I cannot actually talk about the movie, and the movies will then have no bearing on this list whatsoever, because this isn't about Ghost in the Shell 1995. This is about standalone complex, because it's a TV series. But yeah, the next one up is Mob Psycho 100, and I mean, although I will admit one thing right now, I've actually not seen the third season yet. I know. How could I? How could I not have watched Mob Psycho 100 Season 3? And my excuse is, I don't watch anime, bro. That's just been my reality so far. But yeah, nah. Mob is an amazing show. 12 episodes. Well, 3 seasons. 12 episodes. 3 seasons. And it's by Bones. Originally, when Mob first came out, like, let's say the first 3 episodes, I didn't actually like Mob Psycho 100, funny enough. The humor was an extreme miss for me. I didn't like it at all. But as I kept watching it, because this was in my Sakuga, period, so the only reason I watched it was for the animation. And yeah, as it sort of kept going, I started finding myself actually enjoying it a lot more. But it definitely took a while to grow on me. But once it grew on me, god damn it, I love this show. Mob had a fantastic conclusion, and the art remained top tier for its entire run. I'd say around 20 to 15, because there's just better anime. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely better anime. I would agree with you there. Yeah, let's just quickly go through the synopsis as well. 8th grader Shigeo Mob Kageyama had tapped into his inner wellspring of psychic prowess at a young age, but the power quickly proves to be a liability when he realizes the potential danger in his skills. Choosing to suppress his power, Mob's only present use for his ability is to impress his longtime crush, Tsubomi, who soon grows bored of the same tricks. In order to effectuate control on his skills, Mob enlists himself under the wing of Arataka Reigen, a con artist claiming to be a psychic, who exploits Mob's powers for pocket change. Now exorcising evil spirits on command has become a part of Mob's daily, monotonous life. However, the psychic energy he exerts is barely the tip of the iceberg. If his vast potential and unrestrained emotions run berserk, a cataclysmic event that would render him completely unrecognizable will be triggered. The progression towards Mob's explosion is rising, and attempting to stop it is futile. Yeah. And it is all a setup. It is all a setup. But it's actually pretty good. Yeah, nah. I don't have much negative to say about Mob again. Like I said, it wasn't my thing right from the get-go. And for that matter, I will say, I think that is probably the biggest hindrance for this show. Not everybody is going to enjoy the humor that is presented in this show, and myself included. It took me a while to get used to it, and even then, even later on in the show, it wasn't always the case that I loved every single episode, but I still generally enjoyed it a lot. So, going then into the top 25 again, and looking, where would I put Mob? I mean, I did make a video that basically talked about, like, the top 25 anime, or was it 25? I don't remember. It was at least like, the top anime, like, no, it was the top anime of the last decade, that's what it was. And I do think I put Mob up at, like, 1 for its year. For the original season, I think? Yeah, I think it was either for the original or the second season. I don't remember. But, let's see, you said 20 to 15. 20 to 15. I could even see it being top 10, to be honest. I could definitely do like it. but I could be willing to meet you in the middle there, actually, for 15, at least for now, for Mob Psycho. Mob Psycho 100. I can definitely see it being there. Like I said, I definitely could be convinced also to put it all the way up to 10th, at least for now, but I would definitely also not be opposed to putting it to 15th. I think that's a good point. Again, it might end up higher than this as we keep going. Because the next show that we're talking about is Zombieland Saga. Another show that I objectively pulled out of my list. In objective. And yeah, 2 seasons, Mappa. Idols, but zombies. Zombies, but idols. I mean, wasn't that what we all expected when it came out? I still remember when the PVs for this were released, and I was expecting a full-blown goddamn horror show. And then I was hit by Zombieland Saga. And, you know, if it wasn't for Mamoru Miyano, I don't think I would like this show as much as I do, but I do really like this show. But Mamoru Miyano also carries a lot of it. Because it was fresh, but the humor was something meh. Quite subjective, though. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can definitely see it. It's, again, it's one of those shows that I feel like it's not gonna be for everyone, just because, like, I mean, first and foremost, you have to get past the CG, which I'm not gonna blame anyone for not being able to. The CG was quite bad. And then after that, you still have to get through the fact that, like, at the end of the day, while it is a neat concept of, you know, saving Saga by reanimating dead people to become idols, I can't exactly say that I would have come up with that concept, but, you know, after you sort of get through that concept, you do still sort of end up with an idol show, you know? So whether it's this, it's Love Live, it's Idolmaster, it's whatever, you kind of end up with that same sort of story. It's, although, again, this does have the backdrop of saving Saga, which, you know, it's neat. It's definitely fun. It's definitely fun. And Mamoru Miyano, again, carries the show. 100%. 100%. So, yeah. Don't even think I'm going to bother going through the synopsis for this one, because I think I summed it up pretty well. Zombieland Saga. I definitely think it belongs towards the bottom of the list. No doubt in my mind. Then the question becomes, does it belong above or below Gosek? Because if it belongs above Gosek, then it just goes into 24th. And if it belongs below it, well, then Gosek goes up into 24th. For me, it's out of the 25. It'll probably out of the 25 for me as well. But like I said, again, the rules essentially state that as long as there's open spaces in the top 25, I would have to put it in the top 25. It cannot go out of the 25 until all these 25 spaces are filled. It's just to make things a little more interesting, because I also kind of want to be able to look back at this and see how this list actually evolves, which wouldn't be quite as fun if everything just went outside the top 25 the moment it was brought up. I want to see sort of where, for at least a little bit, where it actually belongs on the list. Once every spot is filled, then yeah, sure, then we can go. Because I'm not gonna bother, like, I don't know how I would make stuff go up, but the original Fully Cooley definitely is top 25. The original Fully Cooley is also an OVA, if I'm not mistaken, so I don't think that would belong. But yeah, I kind of agree. I think Zombieland Saga belongs in 25th. So that means it goes up. Alright. There you go. And here comes one that, as well, I haven't thought about in a long time, which is Welcome to the NHK. NHK ni Yokoso. 24 episodes from 2006 by Gonzo. The synopsis on Mal says that 22-year-old college dropout Tatsuhiro Sato has been a Hikikomori for almost 4 years now. In his isolation, he has come to believe in many obscure conspiracy theories. But there is one in particular which he holds unshakable faith in. The theory that the evil conspirator behind his shut-in, NEET, not an employment, education, or training status, is the Nihon Hikikomori Kyokai, NHK, an evil and secret organization dedicated to fostering the spread of Hikikomori culture. NHK Nyokoso is a psychological dramedy that follows Tatsuhiro as he strives to escape from the NHK's wicked machinations and the disease of self-wrought isolation, while struggling to even just leave his apartment and find a job. His unexpected encounter with a mysterious Misaki Nakahara might signal a reversal of fortune for Tatsuhiro, but with this meeting comes the inevitable cost of having to face his greatest fear: society. This show is good. This show is definitely good. And it is one of those shows that, for me, best interpretation of societal anxiety alongside bocce. I haven't seen bocce, sadly. I know people have been ranting and raving about it. I've seen the quite amount of memes on it, and I've heard a lot about it, so maybe I should watch it. Just never actually got into it. But yeah, I agree. The sort of insight into like what is like actually being a NEET, and the sort of powerful take on it, the sort of self-hatred that comes with it. I mean, and this show is powerful, like, legitimately. There's even a moment where our main character is has joined a cult to kill himself, essentially. So you know, it's this shit goes kind of deep, and I definitely felt it while watching it, because while I'm not exactly going to say that I've been a Hikikomori myself like that, I definitely do remember a time in my life where I felt like I couldn't go anywhere. Like, literally, I couldn't even get out of bed to go to school. I would just sit at home. Like, I wouldn't do anything. It was quite bad. And if you have experienced anything like that, this show is something else. This show hits hard. It's a really good show. It's kind of strange, and you know, it's got its wacky side as well, but it is a good show. It is a very good show, and quite frankly, if I remember my own scores correctly, I think I actually gave this a pretty, not a low score, because it's obviously on this list, but I don't even think I appreciate this show as much as I probably should, for whatever reason. But man, yeah, nah, this is just one of those shows. It's psychologically themed, and I do love me those kinds of shows. I guess it was the otaku culture that kind of put me off a bit, because at this point I was not that far into it, so a lot of the stuff still seemed kind of weird to me. But yeah, nah, it was it was definitely something else. So yeah, wrong one. NHK. NHK. Where would I put that one? And would I put it above Mob Psycho? That is a good question. Because if I remember my own scores correctly, which doesn't hold a candle to this, that doesn't, my Mal scores doesn't really apply here. But if I do remember my Mal scores correctly, I'm pretty sure I gave Mob a higher score than I did NHK. So logically speaking, then I would put it below it. And I think I will. I think I'm going to put it in 16th. Just below top 10. 12 to 13 for now. Above Mob Psycho. That is basically the biggest problem. It is a very different show. Although there's comedy in both of them, but yeah, NHK is NHK is definitely not the same type of comedy as Mob Psycho is. Well, 13. 15, 16. You know, it's short. I can agree to putting it in 13th, I guess. And I'm just gonna call it NHK again, just for simplicity's sake. Alright, NHK. And then it's time for Beck. Beck, Mongolian Chop Squad. Music. Again, I'm not even gonna spend a lot of time on this. I've talked about this on the channel before. 26 episodes. Madhouse, 2004. 14-year-old Yukio Koyuki Tanaka is a dispirited young boy with no goals in life. However, this all changes when Koyuki saves a strange-looking dog named Beck from being harassed by a group of local kids. The dog's owner, 16-year-old Ryusuke Rei Minami, is an emerging guitarist and a former member of a popular rock band. After Koyuki meets Rei again in a diner, I guess it would be Rei, but yeah, in a diner, the older boy leads him to his former band's meeting place and dazzles Koyuki with his amazing guitar skills. Slowly becoming interested in the glamour of Western rock culture, Koyuki decides to start playing the guitar while helping Rei achieve his dream of leading the ultimate rock band. Together with Rei's younger sister Maho and a few other members, the two boys launch their career into the world of rock by forming a band called Beck. Beck follows the group's struggles and successes as they spread their fame across Japan. Music anime, band anime. Very, very enjoyable show, especially for somebody who's been in a band. It is a fun show to watch, and generally pretty gripping. Good music, very English, but good music nonetheless. And yeah, I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because it's pretty straightforward. Slice of life, comedy, drama, music. And I do enjoy this show. However, normally I don't think I would have put this in the top 25. I cannot imagine I would have. Which means that it would go on the bottom. But I'm pretty sure that I would put it above Gosek. I definitely would. So, therefore, I will put it at 23rd. And it will probably also be pushed off the list eventually. Never seen this one, but the synopsis looks promising. Yeah, again, it is a music show. It is basically, essentially, you can think what most music shows are, but it is mostly focused on like Western sort of rock culture. So you can think like early like British rock, 60s, that sort of era. Yeah, in general, it's pretty fun. Pretty fun show. Ginga Nagareboshi Gin. This is a show that I have never talked about on the channel, but we did talk about on the hold on, what am I typing here? Nagareboshi. There we go. Actually, I'm probably misspelling it. Nagareboshi. I am not. But the manga. There it is. There it is. There it is. 21 episodes from the 80s by Toei Animation. Yeah, we watched this on the podcast actually, and basically I would refer to this as Shonen Dogs. Although maybe not quite shonen. This show is something else. Nagareboshi Gin. And there he is. There's my man. Nagareboshi Gin is top 5 for sure. I mean, in terms of just pure entertainment, if this list was only based on like what shows I've had the most fun watching, hell yeah, this would be top 5. This is so much fun. This show is absolutely incredibly fun. The synopsis is: having been born as a brindle, Torage, or tiger-striped, Akita, Gin, Silver, as you can see there's a lot of things to get through here, named after his fur color, is destined to become a successful bear-hunting dog. However, when he witnesses his father's death at the hands of the man-eating demon bear, Akakabuto, he is chosen above his siblings to become his father's successor and defeat the monstrous bear that terrorizes his home village. As Akakabuto gathers his own allies, Gin must travel across Japan in search of dogs to join him in an all-out war of dog versus bear. And goddammit, if this is an all-out war, we are talking absolutely ravenous, murderous, bears that are just literally, like, they are fucking breaking into people's cabins, eating the shit out of them. People are dying. These things are terrifying, and the only thing that can stop them is not even hunters anymore. It's goddamn bear dogs. But Akakabuto is something else. So they genuinely have to search across Japan to gather a pack of dogs. Thousands upon thousands of powerful dogs to come back and fight the bears. And this show had me hooked from episode 1. The moment we see Riki, which is Gin's father, and the grandpa just go up the mountains to take out the bear, and they get absolutely fucking bodied by that bear, and they have to crawl into a cave to try to survive, and they're injured. And the grandfather is just sitting there like, alright, we need to survive, and I'm willing to do anything to survive. And then he proceeds to chop a piece of his own leg off and try to force feed the meat of his own leg into the dog's mouth. Like, this show is metal. I don't really know how to explain it. Yes, I'm indeed Scandinavian, which you can hear, because sometimes I mess up what I say. That's because my brain is small. I heard the show is huge up there. I also heard it was huge up here, although I'd never heard of it before until we watched it a little while ago. It is, but yeah, I think it was particularly huge in Finland, I think, but whatever it is, Finland and Norway, yeah. Yeah, no, it was, this show was something else. I'd heard about it, like, I mean, I'd heard people talk about it, but I can't really say I was prepared for what this show is. This show, saying that this show is dumb doesn't even begin to describe it, but it is dumb in the best possible way. It is just pure entertainment. It is just pure entertainment in the way that 1980s Japanese anime only could provide. And I am definitely watching the sequel. Where would I put this? Where the hell would I put this show? I would definitely put the show... I'm just gonna call it Gin. Could call it Silverfang because that's the English title, but nah, Gin. And I'm gonna put it in 16th under Mob Psycho. Why? Because I can. It is a very fun show. That, yeah. That's the only explanation that really matters. It's a really fun show. Hey, B-Stars. I keep doing that wrong. B-Stars. V-Stars. B-Stars. 2 seasons. Started in fall 2019. By Studio Orange. Full CG. Anthropomorphic Psychological School. I don't even know how to describe this show other than, I guess this is humans that's interpreted by animals. The synopsis is, in a civilized society of anthropomorphic animals, an uneasy tension exists between carnivores and herbivores. At Sheraton Academy, this mutual distrust peaks after a predation incident, results in the death of Tem, an alpaca, in the school's drama club. Tem's friend, Legoshi, a grey wolf in the stage crew, has been an object of fear and suspicion for his whole life. In the immediate aftermath of the tragedy, he continues to lay low and hide his menacing traits, much to the disapproval of Louis, a red deer and domineering star actor of the drama club. When Louis sneaks into the auditorium to train Tem's replacement for an upcoming play, he assigns Legoshi to lookout duty. That very night, Legoshi has a fateful encounter with Haru, a white dwarf rabbit scorned by her peers. His growing feelings for Haru, complicated by his predatory instincts, forced him to confront his own nature, his own true nature, the circumstances surrounding the death of his friend, and the undercurrent of violence plaguing the world around him. This show, when it first came out, I mean, getting past the fact that it's full CG, I mean, Studio Orange just pretty good CG, so that's fine. It was an extremely fun show. I really enjoyed watching the first season. I have not seen the second season, and from what I heard, it does not sound good. That is the one thing I can say about that. So I've never really bothered looking into the second season, which is the biggest negative for this one. Didn't enjoy this. The fight between Louis and Bear specifically was dumb in my opinion. Yeah, I can guess. But in general, it was a very fun show. Sadly, apparently a bad second season. And, I mean, I don't even know if it was bad. I know people were mixed on the first season as well. So, where would I put this show on the list? Speed up a little bit, I don't want to talk too long about the shows. I think I would be pretty safe to say that this one goes into 25th for me. I would put this on the bottom. Simply because it is one of those shows that I never felt the need to continue. Is there both seasons? It's the bottom, yeah. Yeah. Definitely. So yeah, I think 25th sounds good for this show. And then we have everyone's favorite, Sword Art Online. And this is when all my credit goes out the window when I say that I actually enjoy Sword Art Online. But, yeah, it is what it is. Sword Art Online is one of those shows that came out roughly at the time that I got into anime, 2012, yeah, the year before, so. And, you know, having grown up on games, having grown up on MMOs in particular, seeing an anime that sort of represented, that was fun. Looking back on it, was it overrated? Sure. Absolutely. 100%. But I did enjoy it. It's got multiple seasons. There's still more coming out. I think they're on to, like, what, the progressive novels now. So there's, you know, in case you didn't like Sword Art Online before, now you can watch it again. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. I would definitely agree with that. It's a... I don't even want to call it a guilty pleasure anime, because that's a lie, but it is one of those shows that, like, whenever something new comes out, I kind of like putting it on in the background and just having it on. It's nice, but it's not something that I'm, like, hyper invested in. It is definitely not. I'm not even going to read the synopsis for Sword Art Online. You guys know Sword Art Online. You guys for sure know Sword Art Online. Good entry point anime. Good entry point anime? Yeah. Easy for people to sort of understand. You know, a lot of people having that experience with, like, games and stuff like that. It's not a huge barrier to entry. You know what's going on, even if it is still weird Japanese stuff. And, you know, having to figure out that hot chick you've been looking at in game all the time actually was a dude. It's not really that much of a surprise. It's not that much of a culture shock. I'm sure anybody that's played an MMO has been there at one point. So yeah, Sword Art Online. Definitely towards the bottom of the list. For sure, for me. Definitely towards the bottom of the list. And I think, for me, I would probably put it above Zombieland Saga. Basically, would I put... Nah. Nah, I think... I'm thinking something like this. SAO. You know what? Sword Art Online. I'm thinking something like this. Or maybe up one or down one. 24. Filling up the bottom first, huh? I mean, the bottom is always easiest to fill out. These are also, like I said, these are in random order. I basically took all the picks and put them into a website and had them jumbled up and then extracted them again. So when they were originally gathered, they were in order. Now they are all out of order. So yeah, for all I know, all the top ones are at the bottom. I have no idea. I don't know. I never checked to see where anything ended up. 24th. No, I think I'd still put it above Zombieland Saga, because my thing is still that Zombieland Saga is fun, but I think I get more enjoyment out of Sword Art Online than I do Zombieland Saga. But, you know, idle shows and whatnot. Although Zombieland Saga is a more original. Nah. I'm gonna say that's good. I am going to say that is good. And then we have One Punch Man. I can never get this right. One Punch Man. Man. This show. Season 1 is peak action anime. Season 1 is debatable. It's definitely good, though. It is definitely good. It's Madhouse. Oh, the first season is. The second season was who took over? JC staff. That's why it went downhill. Yeah. It was definitely fun. It was one of those, like, I mean, this came out at a time where, like, the like sort of focus on, like, the Sakuga moments in anime was also really blowing up, and this just combined everything. Cool action, amazing animation, hit or miss comedy, but again, that's just kind of one. That's just kind of what he does. And all in all, that was a decent sort of parody with a lot better animation than they should have ever had. Very popular anime. But yeah, obviously, the second season was then taken on by JC staff, and while I'm not going to sit there and say that the second season is bad, it definitely lost an edge, because it was not as bombastic, not quite as bombastic visually as the first season, and some places even downright bad, because, well, JC staff does not care that much, and JC staff takes on a lot more work than they probably should. If we consider it's below mob, it is definitely below mob. Honestly, I would have taken it below mob even on the basis of only the first season. I think mob is a better show. But, yeah, I would put it further below mob. Because it just... you can't get around that second season. And I... 17, 18, 19, and 20 are all open, and I'm not going to put this in 20th. I don't think it's that bad. I think I'm going to put it in 17th, because I do like One Punch Man. I really do. It is good. One Punch Man. I think 17, maybe 18. But again, that'll be sorted more out once we actually get more shows in there. But yeah, below mob, for sure. And then we have reached Monster. Monster is a show. Monster is a show and a half. And we're of course talking Monster Musume. Number 1, Naoki Urasawa. Monster, 74 episodes. Madhouse. The 2004. For what many would be considered the peak Madhouse era. In this era, the early 2000s. Late 90s even. It is... again, like... singing the praises of this show is easy, because, like, again... when you can consider the fact that Monster produced one of the best villains, in my opinion, of all time, in any anime, that is quite a nice feat, considering, again, he literally does not spend that much time on screen. It's very, very good character building. You don't even have to show the character in order to show that he's a bad guy. Tenma's also a perfect contrast to him. Yes, he is. Although, Tenma's in a difficult position and also sort of stuck between moral situations. Because, again, everything is grey. And goddammit, this show portray this a lot. Literally. The show itself is very grey. Both in tone and in color. The biggest sort of problem I have with Monster is the fact that it is very slow. That is sort of the biggest issue. And for a lot of people, that becomes a huge issue. It can be difficult to sort of sit through all 74 episodes when you sort of feel that after 25-ish episodes, nothing has really progressed that much, and sort of it becomes like, is this worth it? And I think yes, but again, you need a little patience with this one. It's nice when things sort of come together and you get a bigger picture of things, but just right off the bat, yeah, it's not ideal. It's not the greatest. Slow burn, but it's worth it a lot when you finish. Yeah. For sure. For sure. Top 5, though. We can agree. We can agree that this one should go in at number 5. Yeah, I feel good with number 5. I would not put this at number 1. It is definitely not my favorite show, but again, that is my opinion. Watched Monster twice. Nice. Yeah, nah, it is one of those shows that I definitely want to rewatch. I've been meaning to rewatch it for a long time, but it is 74 episodes, and I'm not exactly a guy that is known to watch a lot of really long shows. It is easier to do that for the podcast because we break it up into pieces, and you know, then I'm obligated to. So, someone message JD on Twitter and tell him that we need to review Monster. Then I'll rewatch it. Uh-oh. What did I do? Okay. So yeah, alright. And here comes a show that I think a lot of people wouldn't consider, which is The Eccentric Family. The Eccentric Family. Uchoten Kasoku. It's 2 seasons. Mythology. PA works based on a novel. This show. Yeah, 2 seasons. 2 really enjoyable seasons. 2 really enjoyable seasons. Comedy, slice of life type of show. And I'm just going to quickly go through the synopsis for this one just because, I mean, look at this. How? So good. Kyoto has been populated by groups of tanuki and tengu for years, living alongside humans who are oblivious to the existence of these creatures. Yasaburo Shimogamo is the 3rd son of an influential tanuki family, who spends his carefree days taking care of an old tengu, observing humans through his ability to shapeshift, and dealing with a mysterious woman named Benten. Not Ben 10, but Benten. Behind the peace and tranquility, however, is a painful memory from long ago, as Yasaburo's father, head of the Tanuki community, was killed and eaten by a group of humans known as the Friday Fellows. Uchoten Kasoku follows the trials and tribulations, because every synopsis loves that those words, of the Shimogamo brothers as they struggle to avoid their own grisly demise while coming ever closer to unraveling the truth behind their father's death. It's not quite as dark as it's made the sound here. I'd say that's a bit of a missell, but there's definitely dark undertones to this show. Yes, the dad is gone. So, quickly, just to explain. The reason why, well, they refer to him as Tanuki, and the reason why we see here is the Tanuki can shapeshift, so they can become humans, basically. That's how they appear to most people. The Tengu are basically also humans. We got the old guy in the background here, he's a Tengu, and it's sort of the conflict between them is part of this. Because, like, they have to sort of live in coexistence, but they don't necessarily always get along. They have sort of rules in place and whatnot for society. And then we have the sort of group of humans, the actual humans, which is what the Friday Fellows are, which is what aids our main character's Yasaburo's dad. And sort of one of the things that happens is he sort of gets involved with them. He gets invited to them and sort of meets them because he is looking he's sort of walking around and getting dragged around with by Benten, who is a human who was becoming a Tengu, essentially. She was adopted by a Tengu, effectively saved, I guess. And yeah, I would say this is a slice of life more than anything else, but it is definitely good. Genre's award-winning. I do love that genre. The award-winning genre is always good. And yeah, don't know it. I'm not surprised, like I said again. A lot of people don't. I voted for this show. Like, we did an episode on the podcast a while back, like a few years ago, I think, where we did like a sort of top anime show, essentially. Like, we were like, you know, the Crunchyroll Awards, the Red Leaf Retrocast Awards, the most coveted anime award you could ever get. And we had a bunch of like different class stuff to like put it into, and yeah, this one I vehemently fought for the most underrated, or sort of unknown, I guess, the most unknown, and it sadly came in second, which in my opinion proves the point, because people didn't vote for it because they didn't know it, which is so weird. how can you not vote for it when you don't know it? Doesn't that just prove my point? It is a great show. Absolutely would recommend. It is an amazing show. An amazing show, both the first season and the second season. I know some people aren't that big on the second season. A lot of people prefer the first season, but I really enjoyed the second season as well. So, as far as I'm concerned, I would definitely put this right under Monster. I was actually almost tempted to put it even above it, but I'm gonna restrain myself a little bit. It is good, but I don't know if I would say that it's better than Monster necessarily, but it is goddamn good. Here is a show that I think a lot of people would disagree with me on, but everything becomes F. Who likes mystery? Who likes adult casts? Who likes A1 pictures? Not me. Not me, as you can tell. Dropping by to say hello. Hello, Yada. Glad you were dropping by. Man. The perfect insider. It was an inside job. 11 episodes, mystery. A bit... One of those shows that I picked up originally, cause, god damn it, like I said before, I do love my psychologically themed anime, but there are not very many good ones. Flying Witch better stay in the top 25. You know, maybe I can be convinced. Yeah, nah, Flying Witch is also really good, which we will get to. But yeah, The Perfect Insider. It was a fun show that I enjoyed when it came out. The sort of mystery, the way sort of everything was unraveled, the way everything was sort of put together. It was an interesting watch for me. Just quickly going through a synopsis, I guess. In a research facility hidden away on a remote island, genius programmer Shiki Magata has lived as a recluse for years. She rarely sees guests, but Associate Professor Sohei Saikawa and university student Moe Nishinosono still seek her out. However, their meeting is cut short when they are caught up in a locked room murder mystery. Everything is not as it seems, and many secrets are hidden. Within an isolated facility, a seemingly impossible and gruesome crime takes place, and Saikawa and Moe must unravel the truth behind the murder and Magata's shrouded past. But yeah, locked room murder mystery. Who doesn't love one of those? I know I do. I'm a big fan of those. It was very fun for me, and I was gonna say a decently satisfying conclusion. I guess that's technically not quite right. There are still stuff that I feel like doesn't quite resolve, which is the biggest downfall of this show, which is why it has a 7.25. I think that's a bit harsh, because I still think it was goddamn good, and the opening and endings to this show was absolutely amazing, which has nothing to do with the overall quality, but I feel like it's worth noting. Talking by Kanabun and Anahitsuji by Scenario Art. Love them. Love it. Absolutely love it. It's fine, but eclipsed by many others, to be honest. Yeah, sure. I can definitely agree with that. It is one of those things which, like, I would say for me, I think this was one of those shows that got pushed up for me by seasonal bias, because I remember really enjoying this. The problem was, I think this was one of my favorite shows from the season, and as such sort of stood above everything else, which made it feel better than it might actually be. So, yeah. But I do enjoy it. I don't think it's necessarily a top 25 contender, but I definitely don't think I would put it at the bottom. Although, would I put it above Beck? No. Would I put it above Ghostek? No. Would I put it above Sword Art? No. Would I put it above Zombieland? Oh, maybe. Would I put it above Zombieland? Yeah, maybe. Beastars? Yes, I think I would. I definitely think I would. Zombieland. Sword Art. I think I'm gonna put it above. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put it above Zombieland Saga. Vega. Ni Naru. Everything becomes F. And again, I would expect this to get to be put out of the top 25. And then we have Erased. Erased, I feel like it's in a very similar position for me. Erased. What am I fucking erased? Erased. Bokudake ga inai machi. The town where only I am missing. 12 episodes, mystery, supernatural, suspense. This show had a very nice hook. The beginning of this show, I was very invested in it, and I enjoyed this a lot when it came out in 2016 by A1 Pictures. Man, who likes A1 Pictures? Not me. It had a good start. It had a very good start. I agree. And all in all, it kind of fell off towards the end. Once again, because it kind of hits on some points that I don't know. I feel like it didn't quite build up to. I feel like it didn't quite deserve. I feel like the show was more sort of busy with like a gotcha type of a twist, but like, yeah. I feel like the show was more interested in sort of getting the viewer and tricking the viewer a little bit, so I didn't quite feel like it deserved its ending so much, which is the biggest issue with the show. The synopsis is, when tragedy is about to strike, Satoru Fujinuma finds himself sent back several minutes before the accident occurs. The detached 29-year-old manga artist has taken advantage of this powerful yet mysterious phenomenon, which he calls revival, to save many lives. However, when he is wrongfully accused of murdering someone close to him, Satoru is sent back to the past once again, but this time to 1988, 18 years in the past. Soon he realizes that the murder may be connected to the abduction and killing of one of his classmates, the solitary and mysterious Kaio Hinazuki, that took place when he was a child. This is his chance to make things right. Bokudake ga inai machi follows Satoru in his mission to uncover what truly transpired 18 years ago and prevent the death of his classmate, while protecting those he cares about in the present. Yeah. So basically, and once again, another murder mystery type of show. With time travel included, because who doesn't like time travel? Okay. Alright, cool, dude. What? Interesting. Hold on a second. Alright. There we go. That's always fun. So yeah, erased. Man, spam in my chat. Never. But yeah, not erased. A good start. Not as good ending. Definitely not as good ending. And as such, it also belongs in the bottom for now. And I would probably just do this, to be honest. I think it belongs here. Erased. Like so. I think that sounds good. 23rd under Subtika F Ninaru. I do think I like that one more. I think that was more satisfying in my opinion than Erased was. I'm basically putting it there. Alright. Oh, we have Made in Abyss. This is actually gonna take a lot longer than I thought it would. That is fine. If it takes too long, I can do a part 2. We can do like half of it and then do the other half at a different time. That also works. Made in Abyss. I don't want to take up too much time. Not the manga. We're not reviewing the manga. This is not... We're not reviewing anything. Wrong one. The anime. I'm the anime top scholar, not the manga top scholar. I don't do manga stuff. That much. TV anime, 13 episodes. It's also got movies and the second season because, you know, the movies are summaries and then we have the third movie. And once again, I've not actually seen the second season of this show just yet. I recently watched the movie and I enjoyed it. I thought the movie was fun. I did not have time to get into the second season, sadly, so that is definitely something that I'm going to be looking to do now when I have some more time. Now that I'm on vacation, it is one of those things that I want to catch up on. Which is perfect, because next season for me is pretty much just going to be a catch-up season. I don't see too many shows in that new season that I would be genuinely interested in. So yeah. Again, this is by Kinema Citrus. We did all of them, right? Kinema Citrus. It did indeed. Themes, gore, survival. That is definitely true. The synopsis. The abyss, a gaping chasm stretching down into the depths of the earth, filled with mysterious creatures and relics from a long time. From a time long past. From a long time. How did it come to be? What lies at the bottom? Countless brave individuals, known as divers, have sought to solve these mysteries of the abyss, fearlessly descending into its darkest realms. The best and bravest of the divers, the White Whistles, are hailed as legends by those who remain on the surface. Because, you know, they're too scared. Diko, daughter of the missing White Whistle Lysa the Annihilator, such a great name, aspires to become like her mother and explore the furthest reaches of the abyss. However, just a novice Red Whistle herself, she is only permitted to roam its most upper layer. Even so, Diko has a chance encounter with a mysterious robot with the appearance of an ordinary young boy. She comes to name him Reg, and he has no recollection of the events preceding his discovery. Certain that the technology to create Reg must come from deep within the abyss, the two decide to venture forth into the chasm to recover his memories and see the bottom of the great pit with their own eyes. However, they know not of the harsh reality that is the true existence of the abyss. And there we have it. There we have it. That is the synopsis. And yeah, this show is messed up. I'd even go so far as to say this show is fucked up. Very much so. There is a lot of gruesome torture scenes, a lot of gruesome death scenes, and definitely not something that I was expecting when I watched this show for the first time. It looked a lot more innocent. So yeah. I do really enjoy this show, though. There is absolutely no denying that. It is a very good show, with the caveat again that I have not seen the second season yet, so I cannot speak on the quality of that. I've obviously heard them listen to my two podcast co-hosts as they have talked about it and their opinions on it, but I don't have my own opinion on it. So, taking that into consideration, that obviously then immediately just means I cannot put it at the top. I cannot put it anywhere here, because it wouldn't make much sense to be like, yeah, this show is great. I haven't seen it, but it's great. But I definitely do think that it deserves to be very high. I think I see the perfect space for it already, to be honest. I think 18th under One Punch Man is good. I'm glad that is open. The one question still missed. Should it be above One Punch Man and above Kin? I don't think it would be above Mob Psycho. Don't think. I think 18th. 18th sounds good. 18th sounds very good to me. Yeah, I think so. Made in Abyss. There we go. 18. A show that needs no introduction whatsoever. You either know what this is, or you don't know what this is. If you don't know what this is, what is wrong with you? If you do know what this is, What is wrong with you? And if you don't enjoy this, I don't know what to tell you. You don't like fun. Yeah. This High School DxD is a show with, what, 4 seasons, I think? 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6? 3, 4, 5 seasons? Something like that. I think it's 4. And it is a comedy, romance, ecchi harem, I guess. It is exactly what you would expect. But it is good at it. It is very good at it. From Studio TNK. Started in 2012. The synopsis is: high school student Issei Hyodo is your run-of-the-mill pervert, because of course he is, who does nothing productive in his life. Heaping on women and dreaming of having his own harem one day. Things seem to be looking up for Issei when a beautiful girl asks him out on a date, although she turns out to be a fallen angel who brutally kills him. And we all hate when that happens. However, he gets a second chance at life when the beautiful senior student Rias Gremori, who is a top-class devil, revives him as her servant, recruiting Issei into the ranks of the school's occult research club. Slowly adjusting to his new life, Issei must train and fight in order to survive in the violent world of angels and devils. Each new adventure leads to many hilarious and risque moments with his new comrades, all the while keeping his new life a secret from his friends and family in High School DxD. High School DxD. I don't even know what to say about this show, to be quite honest. This is about as straightforward as you will ever get it. Demons, harem, lots of fan service, a decent story, honestly, for what it is. Damn, I'm very late. Everyone in chat, I hope you're having a lovely day and have a wonderful holiday time. Well, I'm glad you showed up, and I hope you too have had a wonderful holiday. We are only talking about the most high-class anime here, which, I mean, you can obviously tell. I mean, High School DxD, the most high-class anime for high-class gentlemen. And yeah. So where does this show belong? Obviously, if this was an objective tier list, it would have been straight out at number 1. There's no denying it. Can't be denied. But since this is not objective, I think we should probably put it a little bit lower. And I am not even joking when I say this. I am not even joking when I say this. No, it does not belong 14th. Don't worry about it. I'm thinking this. High School DxD. I know it's not pronounced DxD. It's double D or DD, but I like pronouncing the X. I shall put on my top hat then. You're a funny guy. You're a funny guy. But yeah, nah. High School DxD. Great show. If you know what to expect. And I don't even mean that because you should have low expectations for it. I mean that because it is genuinely good for what it is. But that doesn't change what it is. Darker than black. Darker than black. Darker than black. Who remembers this show? Who remembers the show about Batman? 2 seasons by Bones from 2007. The Golden Age. At least what a lot of people consider the Golden Age the best year anime has ever been, and I very much agree with the choices so far. Well, that's good. Keep feeding my ego. Keep feeding my ego. Nah, it's all good. And yeah, Darker Than Black. Just quickly go through the synopsis. It has been 10 years since Heaven's Gate appeared in South America, and Hell's Gate appeared in Japan, veiling the once familiar night sky with an oppressive skyscraper. Their purposes unknown, these gates are spaces in which the very laws of physics are ignored, with the appearance of the gates emerge contractors, who, in exchange for their humanity, are granted supernatural abilities. In the Japanese city surrounding Hell's Gate, Section 4 Chief Misaki Kirihara finds herself at odds with an infamous contractor codenamed Hei, called Black Reaper in the underground world. Hei, like his associates, undertakes missions for the mysterious and ruthless syndicate, while slowly peeling back the dark layers covering a nefarious plot that threatens the very existence of contractors. From the mind of Tensai Okamura comes a sci-fi thriller taking the form of a subtle expose on a war in which political positions and justice have no sway. A war waged exclusively in the shadows. So a bunch of people get superpowers and then they go kill each other. And all those superpowers have drawbacks. It's actually very neat. It's a very neat concept. The first season was awesome, I do agree. I definitely enjoyed the first season. It is not... I definitely wouldn't say it's the greatest show in the world, sadly. But it is one of those shows where it's like, the concept itself takes this show a long way. And then it's just a matter of sticking the landing. Which I don't think this show necessarily does. Oh my god. Do I seriously have to do this all the time? Are you kidding me? Get out of here. Alright. Where were we? Yes, Darker Than Black. I definitely think this belongs towards the bottom. I definitely do. It had its flaws, but it did an awesome job. Yeah. I would absolutely agree with that. But I do sadly think that it belongs... 24th, 23rd. Sorry. 24th, 23rd, 24th, 23rd, 25th, 24th, 23rd. I'm not even gonna think about it too much. Yeah. Above Erased. Erased is in a similar position for me, so, Darker Than Black. And I will keep fucking fat fingering keys, that is just what I do. Having done this so long that it's just a habit that I never got out of, and now it's stuck with me. But yeah, Darker Than Black, I think that belongs in the 22nd spot, at least for now. Again, it will definitely be pushed down, but I'd say it's probably a little better than Erased in terms of like sticking the landing, but I definitely wouldn't say it's much better. But never watched the Erased, would agree. Yeah, I mean, never watched Erased, I would agree. Yes, same. That's a much better way to go about it than my way, which is usually everything I hasn't seen yet is terrible until I've seen it. Ping Pong the Animation is up next. Ping Pong the Animation. This show is only 11 episodes. Came out in 2014 by Tatsunoko Productions. It's a show from the mind of Masaki Uwasa. Not actually, it's based on a manga, but you know. Let's give some credit to Taiyo Matsumoto as well, because, you know, without him, this wouldn't be a thing. But holy shit. If you see this show, if you, like, just watch some clips from this show and you see the way it looks, and you hear that it's about ping pong, your first thought is probably going to be, holy shit, this sounds bad. This sounds so boring. Why would anyone care? But the fact is, you should be caring. Because this show is great. Despite being polar opposites, Makoto Smile Tsukimoto and Yutaka Peko Hoshino have been best friends since childhood. Although the overly confident Peko strives to be the best ping pong player in the world, he often skips practice, earning the ire of his fellow teammates on the Katasa High School ping pong team. Meanwhile, Smile, in spite of his innate talent for the sport, cannot help but hold back his full strength when playing against others. Through their mutual love for ping pong, the two have developed a bond that is seemingly unbreakable. When Peko hears that an ex-national team player from China is coming to Japan, he drags Smile over to rival Tsujido High School to observe them. The subsequent trip leads to a clash between Peko and Kong Bengye, who overwhelmingly defeats the former in one game. Stunned by such a comprehensive loss, Peko finds himself questioning why he plays to begin with. Seeing his potential as a player, Katase's coach begins to train Smile to overcome his hesitation, but he is reluctant to play if it is not for enjoyment. As the two struggle to find meaning in the sport, a plethora of strong players, each with their own internal strives, await them at the Inter-High tournament, where only the very best can persevere. But when these young athletes let their unbridled ambition go unchecked, the hardships they face paint a somber reality as they pursue glory. Damn, dude. What a synopsis. Yeah. Ping pong. And I love the game. Even though I don't watch ping pong ever. I never would have thought that this show would be able to sort of stand up to what it promised. I mean, 8.62. Even though it is a mouse score, you see stuff like that, and you get some expectations. And it is just such a classic show. It is absolutely amazing. The amount of characterization it manages to sort of get out of pretty much its entire cast in just 11 episodes is, quite frankly, amazing. It does so much in 11 episodes, which is funny because people are talking about 12 episodes not being able to like get that much out of stuff, and even though some people are still trying to convince others that like 24 or 26 episodes isn't enough to like properly flesh out a character, and this show does it in 11, and not just one character either. It is great. I love this show. I think it deserves a top 15 for now. Top 15? Oh, sorry, I looked at the wrong thing. I was like, love Chunibyo, not the Volusius one. One Punch Man. 15. I would put this in 13th, I think. And I think I would push Mob up then. I will do this. Ping Pong the Animation. Quite frankly, Gin is great. I love Gin. But I don't think it's as good as Ping Pong is. Like, if in a sense of just pure enjoyment, I could definitely put Gin above Ping Pong, but in terms of actual quality, never. Not in a million years. It's better than One Punch Man. And the only thing I would sort of question it here, currently on the list, is Mob Psycho. And I don't think it would quite go above Mob Psycho, in my opinion. Although I definitely could be convinced that it should. But for now, I think 13th is fine. Good direction could take a show to the moon and back. 100%. There is a lot of times, people don't want, especially when it comes to adaptations, a lot of times people don't want to see a show change too much. And I mean, sure, change can be bad, but there is something about like a director and the direction of a show when somebody is confident enough to sort of take on an existing story and make it not its own thing necessarily, but like portray it in a way that just it works for the medium it is, and regardless of what it's like in its original medium. There's strength in that. I truly do believe that. Madoka Magica. Someone tell me about the deconstruction of magical girls, because, you know, we haven't heard that enough. It deconstructed the magical girl genre. Deconstructed the magical girl genre. We're still waiting for more Madoka Magica because that third movie. But that doesn't count. We're not talking about the movie. Again, the movie doesn't matter. This isn't a movie list. This is only TV series. Classic, but the direction aspect is average for me. I would say that is a that is a... I would say that that is a hot take. But, yeah. I remember watching this show as well. Because this... I mean, this belongs in that list of shows that just kind of... You watched it, or I watched it, rather, very early. And, it just sort of sticks with you. Because, you know... There's just something about seeing, you know, magical girls, and then suddenly we're losing our heads. We're being a lot darker than expected, and I feel like that sort of appeal, if you will, has faded a little bit in more recent years, because there's definitely more stuff out there that tries to take on a similar angle. But what I feel is the strength of Madoka Magica is that it manages to do this without sort of being resulting to like the gore porn, like the trash, if you will. Madoka had all the drama good stuff. Yeah. TLDR, cute girls die hard. That's a new Die Hard movie. Yeah, no, it is. Kind of is. And it is just, it is a staple of anime in my opinion, and as such it just kind of deserves a high spot no matter how you look at it. Don't really think you get around that. It did a lot. It is very popular. They absolutely need to come out with a new movie because god damn it, you cannot just stop with that third movie. It's impossible. Why? But apart from that, I'm not even going to read the synopsis because, goddammit, we all know what Madoka is. We all remember Madoka, and if you haven't seen it, I don't know what to tell you. You haven't seen it. I guess you never will. 9 or 8. Above Mob Psycho and NHK. Below the Eccentric Family, below Monster, below Akage no Ann. The more I'm looking at it, the more I'm starting to think that Mob Psycho was too low, because I really do like the show, but 9 or 8, 9 or 8, 9 or 8, 9 or 8. Hard for me, this one. 10 above NHK, below NHK. I think I would put it above NHK, actually, thinking about it. And I think I'm going to put it in 10th for now. I don't quite feel comfortable to put it up in 9 and 8 yet. I don't know why. Just don't feel like it. Again, it might end up there. Who knows? Above Eccentric Family, I think. All the way up in 6th. Bumping Eccentric Family down to 7th. I mean, I can see it. I can definitely see it. I think the Eccentric Family is too high for where it should end on this list. Like, I really enjoy it. But would I say that it's the 6th best anime of all time? I don't think I would, so I can actually agree with you there. Yeah. I think I can agree with that. I think just sort of removing this one, putting the Eccentric Family down 1 at least for now, and then putting Madoka Magica there. Yeah, that seems better, I think. Yeah. 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 Alright. Okay. 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 Now it looks like we're onto something. And where are we at now? 81. Yeah, I definitely think I'm only going to be doing half of this list. And then I will do the second part in another stream at somewhere after New Year's. Or like in the first week or something like that. We will see. Because I don't want this to be running too long. But that's my own fault. What were we doing? We were doing Noragami. 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 This is once again another one of those shows that was a seasonal powerhouse for me. I love this show. Particularly Aragoto. I really enjoyed Noragami Aragoto. The second season. Just bones. 2014, 2015. action, fantasy, mythology. In times of need, if you look in the right place, you just may see a strange telephone number scrawled in red. If you call this number, you will hear a young man introduce himself as the Yato god. Yato is a minor deity and a self-proclaimed delivery god, whose dreams of having millions of worshippers without a single shrine dedicated to his name. However, his goals are far from being realized. He spends his days doing odd jobs for 5 yen apiece, until his weapon partner becomes fed up with her useless master, and deserts him. Just as things seem to be looking grim for the god, his fortune changes when a middle school girl, Hiyori Iki, supposedly saves Yato from a car accident, taking the hit from him. Remarkably, she survives, but the event has caused her soul to become loose, and hence able to leave her body. Hiyori demands that Yato return her to normal, but upon learning that he needs a new partner to do so, reluctantly agrees to help him find one. And with Hiyori's help, Yato's luck may finally be turning around. What isn't like spending time with useless gods? More death, if done right. Yes. Oh, really? I mean, I can see... Yeah, sure. An open ending, if done right, I would agree, but I don't necessarily think that movie had the best open ending, personally, so I definitely want to see... want to see a little bit more to that one. Never finished the show, decent, but I had other interests. Yeah, no, it makes sense. Like, when this show came out, I originally skipped on this show, because it just didn't sound that interesting to me. It was mostly after listening to other podcasts and stuff like that, and having this show hammered into my head over and over, that I was like, you know, fine, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it like a couple episodes, and yeah, it ended up being really good. A lot better than I originally anticipated. Stuff like that happens. Stuff like that definitely happens. It's hard to say, though, where I would put it in the top 25. Because I have the same issue with this show. Do I enjoy this show? Hell yes. I think it's great. Do I think it's top 25 of all time? Definitely not. Which means that it does belong below the 25. Now, the problem with that is obviously there's still spaces open, so by my own rules, I can't just put it here. I'm not gonna put it there, but I can't just, like, not include it. It has to go somewhere. But where? I think I know where. I think I'll put it here. Noragami in 17th, under Beck. It is definitely better than Gosek. I'd like it more than Sword Art. I like it more than Subetega Ninaru, and Darker Than Black, and Erased, and Zombieland Saga, and Beastars. Debatable about High School DxD, but, again, I like High School DxD for very different reasons. I recall the OP more than the show, to be honest. I definitely wouldn't disagree with you. But it also helps that the OP is an absolute banger, and I've listened to both the first season and the second season OPs way more times than I'm willing to admit, because, damn it, I like good music. I like me some good music. I'll be damned. Shame Yata isn't here anymore, unless he is, in which case, give me a message, because I'm sure he would love this entry. Haikyuu. Haikyuu. Volleyball anime. Man. Haikyuu sure became popular, didn't it? Production IG, Sports, started in 2014. I haven't finished this one either, I didn't watch the final season. Haikyuu's the best sports anime for me, only below Slam Dunk. That is very high praise. Because Slam Dunk is great. But I also like Kuroko no Basuke. And I mean, I guess it depends on what you mean by sports anime, what you define as sports anime, right? Because, like, do you include boxing anime in that? Because, as I've said before, I would definitely be more partial to putting, like, Hajime no Ippo and Ashita no Joe above IQ, because I really do love those shows. But, you know, I guess it depends on whether or not you would consider boxing a sport or a fighting anime, but yeah. Outside of fights, just fun sports, yeah. I can agree that Haikyuu would be one of the better, just like pure sports anime, right? In terms of like ball sports and whatnot, right? If you compare like soccer, basketball, volleyball, badminton, I don't know what else, what other hockey, I guess we've had sports anime about, you know, ice skating. But yeah, Haikyuu was definitely, it is absolutely a very fun show, for sure. Even outside of just the usual, like, the pretty boy competition, it's just pretty remarkable what they managed to do with that. Especially as somebody who doesn't really enjoy volleyball very much. The anime did a lot for me and my enjoyment of that sport, I guess. Not enough that I actually want to watch it, although, funny enough, Norway does have pretty good beach volleyball players. Beach volleyball, not regular volleyball, but hey. That's probably the most volleyball I've ever seen, beach volleyball. Yeah. IQ. Aim for the ace. Aim for the ace. Yeah, tennis. Aim for the ace is a... Aim for the ace is an interesting show. I don't think I would put it top 25 anything, because I don't think it's that great. But, like, it's a very interesting timepiece, just because of, like, Osamu Dezaki and like what he did for anime, like in terms of like cinematography in anime, because it is very interesting trying to see someone like recreate or trying to like create anime in like a 3D space using 2D drawings and trying to like replicate camera techniques like as if the thing is being filmed when it's all in 2D. It's very stocky and a little awkward, but man, It is a thing of its time, but it is definitely interesting. If it wasn't for that, you know, it would have probably taken a little bit longer before people start to think, you know, why don't we just look at this as if it's... Why do we think of this as if it exists in a 2D plane? Why can't we think of it as if it exists in a 3D plane? We are trying to recreate real life, kind of. So, you know, it just makes sense. But yeah, nah, Haikyuu. Not aim for the ace. Not now. IQ for me. I think for me, IQ would go into 18. I definitely think it will go into 18. I said Babek and Noragami for me. Babek and Noragami. So, for you would be 16. I don't know if I enjoy Haikyuu more than Beck. I definitely don't think I enjoyed more than Noragami. So therefore, I definitely don't enjoy it more than more than Beck. But then it becomes 18th for me. And then the question is, does that mean that I should put Beck and Noragami up with High School DxD, or do I put High School DxD down? I think I put High School DxD down one. We put Haikyuu here. There we go. We've almost filled in the top 25. Getting close. And then, of course, we're talking about Macross. Macross has many different entries, and while I don't particularly want to calculate or consider them all as one, because this is a little different in nature, it's not necessarily a direct sequel. I'm mostly talking about SDF Macross, or the first Macross. But Macross in general is pretty good. Macross is about culture, from 1982. Tatsunoko production. Mecha military music. Military music, yes. Military music space. It's a good show. It's a good show, he says. About the top 25 anime of all time? No way. It's a good show? Nah, can't be. Can't be a good show if you want to find the 25 best anime of all time. The synopsis: after a mysterious spaceship crashes into Earth, humanity realizes that they are not alone. Fearing a potential threat from space, the world pushes aside their nationalism As if that would happen. Conflicting interests? Definitely not. And cultural differences? Definitely not. Unifying under the banner of the United Nations. The newly formed UN forces decide to repurpose the alien spacecraft, naming it SDF-1 Macross. Unfortunately, on the day of its maiden voyage, a fleet of spaceships belonging to a race of aliens known as the Centradi descend upon Earth, and the SDF-1 Macross, acting on its own accord, shoots down the incoming squadron, sparking an intergalactic war. In an attempt to escape, the Macross tries to launch itself into the moon's orbit, but the ship, as well as the city it was in, is teleported to the far reaches of space. Caught up in this mess are Hikaru Ichijo, a free-spirited acrobatic pilot, and Min-Mei Lin, an inspiring singer. These two, alongside Macross's crew, experience an epic journey, rife with grief and drama, coming face to face with the cruelties of war along the way. And most importantly, culture. Absolute A-tier show for sure. Nostalgia-filled and full of awesome old-school animation. I mean, to be fair to Macross, the production of the original Macross is kind of atrocious. More so towards the end, because holy shit, there are some moments there where it absolutely just fell apart. But that's only production-wise. In terms of story, it is very weird. It's a love triangle. It's an idol anime. It's a war drama. It's not about the smack, the slap that was heard across the far reaches of space, because that's in the movie. Although I really wish it was in the series as well, but you know, that's neither here nor there. And it is, all in all, a very interesting show. A very interesting show that didn't necessarily start out great and didn't quite feel like it had an idea of what it wanted to do for a little bit, and then suddenly it just decided to go full on like, yeah. Anyways, we're now going to stop intergalactic war with idol music, because everyone loves idols, don't they? I mean, it does well with my nostalgia glasses on. I respect that. The nostalgia glasses are always great. I love those. Alright. Yeah, nah. Macross is good. Macross is definitely good. I have to try to speed up a little bit so that we can at least get through the top 25 and then into the top 50. Where would Macross go on this one, though? That is the question. I feel like I'm constantly digging into the same spot right now, but I guess this is what happens. I think I'm gonna push everything up one. This, and then put Macross here. Macross. I think this seems like a good spot to put everything. Could be convinced to put Haikyuu under it. Maybe even... maybe Norga, maybe back... 17th, 14th. I remember watching it at Robotech in elementary school. I'd have to give it nostalgia points. Oh my god, Robotech. That is definitely not the same show. Oh man. Yeah, nah. I am talking about Macross, not Robotech. I don't think I would put Robotech anywhere near any anime list of any kind. There's just something about weirdly bastardized anime that... You know what, I'm not even going to think about it anymore. I'm going to put it at 17th. And here comes another show that is definitely not one that people would expect in association with one of these, which is Data Live. Data Live was a show, I think it's a harem, yeah, it is indeed a harem, that I watched a long-ass time ago by AIC++. It has multiple seasons. This is the epitome of dumb fun. It was highly enjoyable for the time. Is this a product of quality anime? Definitely not. This is a product of absolutely baiting you to buy merch. That's okay. Sometimes that works. Sometimes that is what people want. It was fun at first, but then it got old. Yeah. Hey, our TV bought anime from the US. What can you do? I'm not blaming you for watching it. I'm just saying. The longer it went for me. Yeah, I mean, like, I can definitely agree with that. I stopped caring about Data Live a long time ago. It's one of those things where, like, it's an odd, like, it's neat whenever it comes up again, and I'm like, ah, cool, more Data Live. But at the same time, it's like, you know, if it was like, I got into anime now, and I was like, do I watch Data Live? Then I'd be like, absolutely not. You either started Data Live when it came out, and you were one of the people that were interested in it from the beginning, or you don't give a shit about this show. And there is nothing you lost for not giving a shit about this show. If you've seen the fan art, you've seen the good part. Trust me. Yeah. I mean, I can quickly go through the synopsis. 30 years ago, the Eurasian continent was devastated by a supermassive spatial quake, a phenomenon involving space vibrations of unknown origin, resulting in the deaths of over 150 million people. Since then, these quakes have been plaguing the world intermittently, albeit on a lighter scale. Shido Itsuka is a seemingly average high school student, because anime, who lives with his younger sister, Kotori, who, when an imminent spatial quake threatens the safety of Tengu City, he rushes to save her, only to be caught in the resulting eruption. He discovers a mysterious girl at its source, who is revealed to be a spirit, an otherworldly entity whose appearance triggers a spatial quake. Soon after, he becomes embroiled in a skirmish between a girl and the anti-spirit team, a ruthless strike force with the goal of annihilating spirits. However, there is a third party that believes in saving the spirits, Ratatosk, which surprisingly is commanded by Shido's little sister. Surprise! Kotori forcibly recruits Shido after the clash, preventing him an alternative method of dealing with the danger posed by the spirits, making them fall in love with him. Now, the fate of the world rests on his dating prowess, as he seeks out spirits in order to charm them. Because, you know, when the world is in danger, and everything seems like it's certain to end, this is when weebs have to step up and finally get a date. Yeah. To say that this is self-indulgent would be an understatement. But you know, it was fun for a little bit. Eventually, it most certainly is about the girls. It is one of the anime of all time for real. Oh, this is absolutely something that exists. This was made at some point in time of all time. How would you say you know what bad anime is if you never saw any, right? Hell yeah, dude. I mean, there's a lot of talk about having the most hottest take today, but I feel like, you know, you can talk about what is the worst best anime out there, but like, you've never truly experienced the bottom pits of anime, have you? Because those shows, those shows definitely exist. High school characters trope was out of control at the time. It's still freaking, but a bit less, I think. I definitely think anime has gotten better at sort of varying up its setting a lot. Yeah, this came out in the everyone's a high school student era, because, you know, it's fun to say that Japan loves high school, which is kind of true, but probably not as much as people would say, I guess. Not as much as the meme wants people to believe, anyways. Even in Japan, high school was a bad time for some people. So yeah, nah. This is an anime that exists. This is an anime that definitely deserves to be at the bottom of this list. And it's most certainly getting out as soon as possible. I don't even want to... I can't even imagine this going anywhere else. Data Life. It's an anime. Now, I don't know how many of you guys know this, but I kind of like Lupin the Third. Like, and I'm not just talking about part 1, I'm talking about all of it. Like, literally all of it. I've seen almost all of Lupin the Third, which is annoying. I've seen like half of Lupin the Third Part 3, which I had to stop because I couldn't keep up with the subs anymore because the subs had gotten really terrible at that time. And I have Lupin the Third Part 4 literally sitting right beside me right now. I can look at it. And I have not opened it yet. I need to watch that. That is definitely on the plan, on the agenda. So that is those are the only things I have not seen Lupin the Third related. Everything else I've seen. And I mean that everything else, even all this. I've seen enough episodes, but yeah. Nah, Lupin is Lupin. Lupin has never, well, kind of. Lupin has changed, but mostly to be a little bit more TV friendly, I guess you could say, a little bit more modern friendly. How Lupin is literally just about, it is literally Arsene Lupin, but in anime, and his grandson, and it is just about stupid heists, funny happenings, and sometimes a little bit more serious happenings as well, and character banter, character interactions. It's a fun show. It's the sort of show that whenever you get into it, you know exactly what you're in for, and it usually doesn't change. And you will either think it has run its course and it is time to move on, or you're like me and you will never let the show go. I love the show. Someone has seen no more than 2 hours of Lupin. I loved it. The concept and the spirit of it just hits the right spot for me. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it is it's a show that has not really had many reasons to change, because just the core concept is solid. It's proven that. I mean, again, it came out, I say in 1971. The pilot came out in like 1969. But yeah, it's basically been a show since the 70s, and it's had something come out pretty much every year. I think there's been a few breaks here and there, but for the most part, it's had something, even if it's just a special or something else. It's just straight up fun. You know what you're getting into. You know what you're getting. Occasionally, you'll get something different, like the Takeshi Koike movies and The Woman Called Fujikomina, which is trying to sort of return that darker aspect of Lupin, but those are the most, like, out there, I guess. Ooh. Lupin, the Lupin stuff. For the most part, everything is grounded in comedy, pretty much, and it is just, it's formulaic, but it's good formulaic. It's one of the few shows, like I say, that it did formulaic anime well, which, goddamn, that is not many. But if I had to put Lupin anywhere on this list, I would 100% not put it in second place. I would either put it in third or fourth. I like it more than Madoka Magica. I might like it more than Monster, actually. And I don't know if I like it more than Akage no An. I really love Akage no An. Actually, no. That's a lie. I mean, I do really love Akage no An. But I do think it belongs to second, actually, the more I think about it. There's just something about Lupin for me that just, I never seem to tire of it. And even though I don't always think Lupin the Third is the greatest, which is, I guess, is the biggest sort of weakness, I would say, for the show, it just never sort of gets to that point where in all of my time watching anime, I can say that there has only been one moment where I genuinely hated it. And that was in part 5. It was like the mid-part episode of part 5, where like the like bank robbery, or like the safe robbery thing with the stupid scientist that made the stupid safe that would only open if the person fucking trying to break into it, or you couldn't break into it, sorry. The only way to open it was to actually just use the lock, and the only way the lock would unlock was if the person putting the helmet on had literally 1 IQ. That is the worst episode of Lupin I've ever seen. And the only time I've genuinely hated it. There's times I have not enjoyed it, but I've never genuinely hated it. Except for that episode. So bad. I don't know what they were thinking. I have no idea what they were thinking. Not just because the content of the episode was bad, but because they changed the characters and everything. It's like, who are these people? This isn't Lupin. It really does scratch an itch. You don't know. You don't know you did. Yeah. What's helmet on goldfish? You know? Yeah. Pretty much. All long-running anime eventually get bad moments. It is inevitable. It is inevitable. Agreed. It is definitely inevitable. But you know, still. Like, there's others. Like, I'm not trying to say that's the only time Lupin has been bad. I don't think Red vs. Green is very good. Which is not a TV series, so it doesn't count, but... stuff like that. It's had its moments where it's not super great, but... In general. Oh, look. There's another anime that would definitely never actually come up in a discussion of the top 25 best anime ever, which is Wicross. Who likes card anime? Has anybody actually played Selector Infected Wicross? Or Selected Wicross, sorry, that's the only thing. Selector Infected Wicross is the anime. And the rest of it. Got multiple seasons by JC Staff, because again, JC Staff does everything. And again, another show that I watch because it's psychological. It's a card game. It's a card game with grave stakes. I only know Yu-Gi-Oh, bro. Yeah. Okay, so this show kind of wishes it was Yu-Gi-Oh, although it's less funny. It's more... It's serious. It's edgy. Ooh. Ooh, you beat your friends and they forget who you are. Ooh. It was a fun... it was actually a fun little show for a while. Which is why it's even on there. I was kind of surprised that I'd rated it as highly as I did. But you know... I definitely enjoyed this show for a while, and then I fell out of it because I never fell into the idea of actually playing the card game myself. Apparently, the advertising didn't work. Yeah, things are not always what they seem. This is especially true for Ruko Kominato when she receives a deck of cards for the popular card game Wicross, only to find a girl trapped inside her L ring. Oh yeah, there was that too. Or avatar card. Upon meeting others in the same situation, Ruko discovers that she has now become a selector, a player in a special version of Wicross, where girls can battle each other for a chance to have their deepest desires come true. However, there is a catch. In contrast to the glory that awaits them after their victories, there's a cruel fate. If they lose 3 times, their lives will be destroyed. That's what it was. It wasn't that they were forgotten. Their lives are ruined. Yeah. Basically, their greatest wish becomes flipped on his head. I guess was the actual concept. It's been a while. And then I watched this show when it came out, so that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. In an ominous game filled with lies and deceit, Ruko and her newfound friends must uncover the secrets behind Wicross and realize what is truly most important to them before it is too late. Or you know, you just keep playing, because playing card games is fun, addicting, you know. Oh damn, I remember seeing this way back in the day in a Misty Chronexia video. Oh shit. Damn. Yeah, that probably was around the time it came out then. Maybe a little after, but... This is a show. And it exists. Would I recommend people to watch it? I mean... I guess it belongs to that. If you have nothing better to do, sure. Keep in mind. It is an advertisement for a card game, so... But at least this advertisement decided to go for a little bit more story focus, which is always nice. And this is the 25th show, actually, so that means we can now officially put stuff outside of the top 25. And that also means that I'm going to do this. I'm putting this in 24. I don't think it's worse than Data Life. But that does not mean that I think that it is that great. It's a good show, it's a fun show. Not top 25 material. Not top 25 material at all. Alright. Only took us 2 hours to get through 25. Let's see if we can speed it up a little bit for the next 25, and then we'll end this stream, and I will do a part 2 at some point. It didn't need exist. I can't say it was good, but it does exist. It does exist. The spelling of this anime is my brain. It happens. Amagi Brilliant Park. I'm quickly taking care of this one because Amagi Brilliant Park. It's just a fun show. A very fun show. Kyoto Animation. Workplace theme, but you know, theme park. It's workplace theme in the sense that you were in a theme park. And goddammit, what's more fun than seeing a theme park having to be saved? I cannot imagine many more fun things than that. It works for what it is, and it's a lot of fun. For sure. It is no top 25 material. Definitely not. Definitely not at all. Kyoto Animation, generally the Disneyland anime. Yeah, we're saving Disneyland, guys. Amagi Brilliant Park is definitely not one of Kyoto Animation's greatest shows. But I would say I would argue it's one of the more underrated shows that it has. Because I like it. And if I like it, that means it's the greatest thing ever. I'm just saying. The greatest remove data alive. Don't worry, it's gonna get removed. I think I'm gonna do more than just remove data alive. Well, I mean, data alive's gonna be the only one removed, but it is going to go. Yeah, data alive goes. That much is a given. Data alive, across Beastars, Zombieland Saga. And I think I would say that I could put it here. Amagi Brilliant Park. Amagi Brilliant Park. 23rd, just below Zombieland Saga. Actually, no. I'm lying. I changed my mind. I'm doing this. There we go. Alright. That seems great. That seems fun. Lamachi is the next one up. How to pick up girls in the dungeon. This is Sword Oratoria. Why am I on this one? What's this one? There we go. Danmachi. I'm not rating this bit. I enjoy this more than I should have, I think. I mean, I agree with you, although I don't necessarily think that's more than I should have. I think this is a good show. Like, genuinely. I think this is a good show. It's not the most classy, premise, I guess. But you know what? For what it is, again, I feel like this belongs in the, like, high school DxD kind of category, where it's like, what it is definitely not, like, top anime quality, like, in terms of what you would expect. But for what it's actually trying to put forward, it does a pretty good job. If you say it does a very good job. It manages to make hype moments, it manages to make it entertaining, and just in general, it manages to keep you entertained, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. I guess that is what I'm trying to say. It managed to keep me entertained. And that then means that it belongs... We're saying goodbye to Wicross. I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact. It's a guy by the book. The jokes didn't land for me. Yeah, fair enough. I can definitely see that being the case. I bought the box set for this series, so I am obligated to say I enjoyed it to satisfy the pain in my wallet. Yep. Fantasy, I mean, Macross. Didn't enjoy it all the way up at 15th. You sure? You sure about that one? All the way up there. I definitely don't think I would put it that high. I think I'd put it in 20th. Yeah, like this. For now. Danmachi. Because I cannot be bothered typing out the entire title. Danmachi should be good enough. And I think 20th is a good spot. puts B-Stars on the chopping block, and I can already tell that B-Stars is gonna fly off. Because we are now... no pun intended. But we are a Flying Witch. Flying Witch is indeed another slice of life and a EHK type of show. This has a 7.5 on Mal, which is outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. This show, if you want a feel-good show, there is hardly any show that does that better than this. Flying Witch is amazing. This show is just straight up amazing, yeah. Nothing much to say about that. It is wholesome as hell. It's got its own moments of just pure comedy, coming of age story, slightly supernatural with, you know, magic and witches and whatnot, but nothing nothing crazy. It never really bends it too much. It's usually done so for comedic purposes, and just all in all great stuff. In the witches tradition, when a practitioner turns 15, they must become independent and leave their home to study witchcraft. Makoto Kawata is one such apprentice witch who leaves her parents' home in Yokohama in pursuit of knowledge and training. Along with her companion Chito, a black cat familiar, they embark on a journey to Aomori, a region favored by witches due to its abundance of nature and affinity with magic. They begin their new life living with Makoto's second cousin, Kei Kuramoto, and his little sister Chinatsu. While Makoto may seem to be attending high school like any other teenager, her whimsical and eccentric involvement with witchcraft sets her apart from others her age. I can't read. I've completely lost the ability to read. From her encounter with an anthropomorphic dog fortune teller to the peculiar magic training she receives from her older sister Akane, Makoto's peaceful, everyday life is filled with the idiosyncrasies of witchcraft that she shares with her friends and family. I can't read, I can't speak. Really? Top 10 worthy? Top 10 worthy? Are you kidding me? Top 10 worthy? Top 10 worthy. What's the top 10? One Punch Man. Good point. Top 10 worthy? I don't know about that. Top 15 worthy? I think so. B-Star's gone. That's the only thing we know for sure. And yeah, I think 12th. I'm feeling 12th. I'm feeling 12th. I'm definitely feeling 12th. I would not rate it as highly as Made in Abyss, but it is. It is good. I love this show. I don't care who knows it. I love this show. It's great. Maybe above High School DxD, maybe. Hydration check. I'm definitely going to take a break now and go and grab myself some water because I am all out. So, but yeah, let me just read some stuff real quick. Never heard of this one, but it has the same basic plot as Kiki's delivery service, so I guess I'll give it a shot. Kind of, yeah, it is similar to Kiki's in a way. Hot take. I enjoy Flying Witch I have lost the ability to speak. I definitely like Flying Witch a lot more than Kiki's delivery service, for what it's worth. But that is my opinion, and yeah. So, I'm gonna go and grab myself some water real quick, and I'll be right back. So, I'll take like a 2-minute break, I guess. All right, and I'm back. Myself some water, and we're ready to go. All right, so we took Flying Witch. We were 12. There we go. I think we're done with this one. And, you know, as per usual. If you disagree with me, then again, that's fine. Just know that this is personal. Just know that this is personal, absolutely targeted at you. That's everything I do. Plan tests. There we go. Thank you. Good to be back. Hope you didn't miss me too much. Planet S. Sunrise. 26 episodes. Garbage Men in Space. I've talked about this on the channel before, so I won't talk too much about it. But yeah, Garbage Men in Space. Some political intrigue, some terrorists, you know. The usual stuff. The stuff you would expect from a show. 8.27. Good show. Really good show. Really good show. Really good show. Very, very good show. Very good show. I love it. I love this show. I love the show a lot. But where would I place it? Where would I place it? Zombieland Saga is gone. Zombieland Saga is definitely gone, and I think I would put this. I think I'd put this in 17th actually, above High School DxD. It definitely belongs there, I think. Planetes, for me, it's just straight up a good show. It's once again a lot of those one of those shows that, like, I feel like most of the difference in opinion on the show comes in the second half and the ending. But for me in general, it's just it's up there. It's up there. It's so much better than the premise sounds. We're almost down to 70 now. When we're down to 50, I'm calling this quits. So the next one is Rainbow. And that's actually a good question. How many know of Rainbow? This one. Nisha Rokubo no Shichinin. Rainbow. Criminal 7 of Compound 2, Cell 6. A 2010 Madhouse show. This anime is actually becoming rarer. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Genre of drama, suspense, delinquents, historical, and a seinen show. This definitely is one of those shows that came out. I mean, I guess it kind of fits the high school age type of deal, but not quite. Definitely not the same context. China's going to the moon and people are like, meh. China's going to the moon. Hey, dude. It happens. Can't care about everything. The synopsis for Rainbow goes like this. Japan, 1955, Mario Minakami has just arrived at Shonan Special Reform School along with 5 other teenagers who have been arrested on serious criminal charges. All assigned to the same cell, they meet older inmate Rokurota Sakuragi, a former boxer, with whom they establish a close bond. Under his guidance, and with a promise that they will meet again on the outside after serving their sentences, the delinquents begin to view their hopeless situation in a better light. Rainbow Nisha Rokubo no Shichinin follows the 7 cellmates as they struggle together against the brutal suffering and humiliation inflicted upon them by Ishihara, a sadistic guard with a grudge on Rokurota, and Gisuke Sasaki, a doctor who takes pleasure in violating boys. Facing such hellish conditions, the 7 inmates must scrape together all the strength they have to survive until their sentences are up. But even if they do, just what kind of lives are waiting for them on the outside? This show is definitely capable of putting you in a certain mood. It is extremely melancholic. Like, on one hand, this show is about hope. But on the other hand, this show is absolutely gut-wrenching. Because you need to be a very strong person to hold on to hope. And what these people have to face inside the special reform school is hell. I mean, we're already up to some pretty serious stuff here, but that's just not it. Like, just in general, like the boxer, all he wants to do is, or no, not the boxer, the other guy. One of them decides that he wants to become a boxer as well when he gets out. He's good at fighting. And just seeing the sort of shit that he has to go through from having his hand pretty much completely destroyed inside there just to make sure that he will never achieve his goal. This show hits hard. This show hits very hard. Like, this is an absolutely fantastic show from a time where Madhouse was still making pretty good shows. Like, in general, this was, yeah. And it's definitely one of those shows that I don't feel is talked about enough. Probably because it's kind of hard to talk about, but it's a very specific, peculiar style as well. A lot of narration stuff is happening. A lot of like, basically we have like a narrator going over a lot of the stuff that's happening, and whatnot. There's got a lot of weird framing choices and stuff like that, but it is so good. I love the show. I love this show so much. Didn't get a physical release due to poor streaming numbers. God damn, dude. North America, what the fuck? What are you guys doing? Rainbow. Sorry, Margaret Brilliant Park, but you are definitely gone. You are for sure gone. Above Beck and Noragami. Above Beck and Noragami. Above Beck and... You know what? I think I agree with you. Rainbow. I definitely think I can agree with that. I like Beck a lot. I like Noragami a lot. But Rainbow is special. A great OP as well. Which, again, has absolutely no bearing on whether or not this belongs there or not, but, you know. And now we are in the last 20. Alright. Monogatari series. Who likes Nishiuisin? I am literally just gonna go like Bakemonogatari, I guess. Because obviously the Kizumonogatari stuff, the movies, don't count because they're not TV series. But yeah, Bakemonogatari, Shaft, 2009, and all the other Monogataris, also Shaft, not 2009. This is just word vomit, references just in general, like a lot of stuff packed into one. And it belongs to a sort of time of anime where it divided anime fans a lot, because it's like you either like enjoy this way of like telling a story because it's very telling, like it's a lot of it is just people talking at each other, or sarcastically, seriously, all types of stuff like that, and just the way it's all framed. It is a story, but it is a oral story essentially, in both written and and TV form, which is odd. So you either like this or you don't. Simple as that. You've seen Bakemonogatari, you've seen Nishiumonogatari, if you've seen any of them, I don't really care where you started, and you didn't like it, it's as simple as that. You're not liking the show at all. I think it's at least move down the line. So yeah, Monogatari, great stuff. Great stuff. I enjoy this a lot. Monogatari series would... Erased is gone. So I do think this belongs there. And I think I would put it above High School DxD as well. I don't think High School DxD is better than Monogatari series. I have a friend who would definitely hate on me if I said that. Although I think he's probably mad at me for putting it in the 19th anyways, but I don't know. He's probably mad at me for this list in general. This is so wrong. I would never put those shows there. Never. How can anyone be so wrong? Speaking of being wrong, love Chunibyo and Other Delusions. Who likes that show? Kyo Annie. Kyoto Animation. Love Chunibyo. Chunibyo demo koi ga shitai. Did I ever watch the movie? I don't think I did, actually. I just realized, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This isn't about movies. Yeah, Kyoto Animation, light novel, 2012. Everybody has had that stage in their life where they have thought themselves to be special, different from the masses of ordinary humans. They might go as far as seeing themselves capable of wielding mystical powers, or maybe even believe themselves to have descended from a fantasy realm. This disease is known as chunibyo, and is often the source of some of the most embarrassing moments of a person's life. For Yuta Tagoshi, the scars that this chunibyo has left behind are still fresh. Having posed as the Dark Flame Master during his middle school years, he looks back at those times with extreme embarrassment. So much so that he decides to attend a high school far away, where nobody will recognize him, putting his dark history behind him. He longs to live a normal high school life. Unfortunately, he hasn't escaped his past yet. Enter Erika Takanashi, Yuta's new classmate and self-declared vessel of the Wicked Eye. As this eccentric young girl crashes into Yuta's life, his dream of an ordinary chunibyo-free life quickly crumbles away. And in this hilarious and heartwarming story of a boy who just wants to leave his embarrassing memories behind, the delusions of old are far from a thing of the past. Synopsis is good at making everything seem bigger than they are. Chunibyo was great back in the day. It definitely was. The main character is funny, but the girl is just man flat for me. Felt exploitative and a waste of time, but it's your list. I mean, like I said, Kisu Monogatari? I don't know about that one. But yeah, no. Again, it's not for everyone. At the time, fair enough. But yeah, no. Chunibyo, it is a fun show, absolutely. I would not put it anywhere near our top 25. That's for damn sure. I don't think it's that good. Definitely don't think it's that good. Season 1 was very good. Season 2, I also enjoyed a lot. Did not enjoy the new girl very much in Season 2, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But in general, I don't know. Just something kind of funny is like that moment, although I guess high school will be a little bit different for me, but like there's definitely this moment in life I feel like most people have where it's like when you're growing up, just kind of realize that point where like, am I childish? Is what I like childish? I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm talking about anime, like, bro, did I ever grow up? I don't think I did. I think I just started neglecting growing up. Yeah, love Chunibyo and Other Delusions. You know what? I think this is actually the first time so far where I'm going to say that this does not actually belong in the top 25. Out of the list? Yeah. I got old too soon. I needed my little corner of anime. I kind of feel like that is similar for me. But like I got a lot of comments like back in middle school that I acted too old for my age, which is a lot of personal stuff that was happening around the time, and I just kind of like as I then got older, I got into anime, and it's like I think that's kind of the same thing. It's like, you know, I need something childish to cling on to. Otherwise, I have nothing. I'm not ready to be old and gray yet. I'm not that old. I'm getting there, but I'm not that old. So yeah, I think Love Chunibyo does not belong on this list. And that then puts us 68. We did 2. Nadia, the Secret of Blue Water. Wrong one. Nadia, the Secret of Blue Water. Blue Water. Fushigi no Umi no Nadia. The original movie. Definitely not that one. We're not doing movies. We're doing TV series. 1990s. Gainax. Hideaki Anno. If I'm not mistaken, this is based on the novel 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. Yes, and I guess this was the project which was originally rejected by Hayao Miyazaki back in his day. I think, if I remember correctly, if my trivia knowledge is up to date. We missed 69. Dude, it sucks. Sometimes happens. It sometimes happens. Yeah. In 1889, the world is on the pinnacle of great discoveries in technology. In mankind's grasp for the future, a sinister foe known only as Gargoyle, obsessed with restoring the former Atlantean Empire to the glory it once held, begins his plans to take over the world. Nadia, with the help of a young inventor, Jean Roquet Lartigue, and once again I'm going to butcher these names, and Captain Nemo of the submarine Nautilus must fight to save the world from Gargoyle and Neo Atlantis. Based on the novel 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. The series won the 1990 Animage's Anime Grand Prix Award. Who likes vegans? Well, if you like Nadia, then you definitely do. This is a weird show. I enjoy this show, and after having introduced it to multiple people, I can definitely say there's a lot of people that don't enjoy this show. Understandable. It's a strange one, aliens and whatnot. But it's a show. It is definitely a show. It is a show that exists. Is it a top 25 of all time? I doubt it. Is it better than Darker Than Black? Is it better than Darker Than Black? Because I would... Is it better than Danmachi? Is it better than F Ninaru? This might actually be yet another skip for me. I don't immediately see where I would put this above anything else here. It's a good show, but it is not a top 25 contender for me. I think we're just going to leave it at that then and say that this does not belong. Anyone who disagrees may speak up now or forever hold their silence. Oh yeah! Kuroko no Basket it is. It's the next one. Kuroko no Basket. The third season. Kuroko no Basket. Kuroba. Production IG. This is definitely my favorite Pretty Boy sports anime. If we're talking, again, if we are removing sort of the boxing anime from the tier list, I am a very big fan of Kuroko no Basket. It is dumb in all the right ways. It does so much fun. Kuroko no Basket is cool. Haikyuu is better for me though, but subjective. I mean, again, it's opinions. It is what it is. I just always enjoy. I mean, I think the main sort of thing that comes is that I enjoy basketball more than I enjoy volleyball. So that already gives Kuroko sort of a leg up on Haikyuu for me. And then after that, it just comes. It's funny. It's got a sense of charm to it. It plays all the typical basketball stuff in a way that, like, if you think Slam Dunk, then you can basically say Kuroko no Basket is Slam Dunk, but every like every little move is played up like 10 times. Because, you know, nothing is funnier to me than just seeing like Akashi just do a goddamn utilize his Emperor Eye and do like a basic a basic crossover, a basic feint, and he just activates his special ability and it just breaks people's ankles, sends them to the floor. Like, I'm sorry, it's the portrayal of it all. It's so stupid, but it's the portrayal of it all. It just makes it equal parts funny and equal parts cool. Slam Dunk is peak manga for me. The TV series is cool, but didn't age very well. Yeah, it's a 90s show. I still like it though, even as a 90s show. Even as a very 90s show, I guess I should say. But yeah, no. Kuroko no Basket, I love. Love, love, love. So I basically say that it should go above Haikyuu, so then it wouldn't make sense for me to put it below Haikyuu. Then it's a matter of where above Haikyuu. Is it above Noragami? I think it is. Is it above Beck? I think it is. Is it above Rainbow? I think it is. I think it is. Alright, Darker Than Black, you're gone. Above Rainbow. Hold on. I got rid of more than I wanted there. I just need that 25. Oh yeah. Amachi up to Rainbow. Kuroko no Basket. There we go. 13th. Woo! Ooh. Alright. Fate Zero is up next, and this is one of those shows that even though I can't see what my scores are, I'm not surprised. I know what I think about this show. I know what I think about this show very well. This was one of my first ever sort of 10 out of 10 anime. This was one of my first ever like favorite anime. This was ufotable. This was ufotable when they were still in the midst of just hardcore tax evasion. This is their this for me is one of the best things they've ever done. Just straight up. I enjoy this show a lot. With the promise of granting any wish, the omnipotent Holy Grail triggered 3 wars in the past, each too cruel and fierce to leave a victor. In spite of that, the wealthy Einsburn family is confident that the 4th Holy Grail War will be different, namely with a vassal of the Holy Grail now in their grasp. Solely for this reason, the much-hated Magus killer, Kiritsugu Emiya, is hired by the Einsburns, with marriage to their only daughter Iriasville as binding contract. Kiritsugu now stands at the center of a cutthroat game of survival, facing off against 6 other participants, each armed with an ancient familiar and fueled with unique desires and ideals, accompanied by his own familiar. Saber, the notorious mercenary, soon finds his greatest opponent in Kirei Kotomine, a priest who seeks salvation from the emptiness within himself in pursuit of Kiritsugu. Based on a light novel written by Genyo Nobuchi, Fate Zero depicts the events of the 4th Holy Grail War 10 years prior to Fate Stay Night. Witness a battle royale in which no one is guaranteed to survive. Ooh, battle royale! Fate, honestly, is just so overrated for me. Ufotable did an awesome job, though. I mean, I guess I can see your point. But I am definitely one of the people that overrates Fate Zero, because I really think it's good. I think it is really good. So Fate Zero, unsurprisingly for me, would have a high spot in this list. Meaning that it would go where? So logically speaking, if I, again, like I said, I'm not gonna use my MAL scores, but this is one of those shows that I know my MAL score on. So logically speaking, it would then either be first or second. But I'm not gonna go based on that, because that is not fun. But it is definitely high up. Above NHK, yes. Above the Eccentric Family, definitely. Above Madoka Magica, I think so. Above Monster, I think yes. Above Akage no An. The one thing I know for sure, though, is that Danmachi is gone. Scalper seems so good. Above and across and top 5. Damn. Yeah, top 5 for me. For me. Cannot really help it. I do love this show. I absolutely love it. And I definitely think I'm gonna... And yeah, I think I'm gonna put it above Monster. Monster's very good. But I'm biased. And I am not afraid to admit it. The top 3 for now. Will it stay there? Who knows? Asobi Asobase is up next. Asobi Asobase. Another one of those seasonal anime. A goldmine at this time. Pure gag humor, bad gag comedy. Love it. It is great. It is absolutely great because it fucking tried to fool everyone. And it loved it. It taunted us with its opening. It taunted us. And then hit us with just some of the best seasonal comedy anime I've ever seen. And I rate this one really highly. Top 25 highly? Anyways, during recess, Olivia, a foreign transfer student who doesn't know English, plays a game of Look the Other Way with Hanako Honda, a loud-mouthed airhead. Their rowdy behavior spurs the ire of Kasumi Nomura, a deadpan loner constantly teased by her older sister for her tendency to lose games. Not willing to compete, Kasumi declines Olivia's offer to join the fun, but eventually gets involved anyway and dispenses her own brand of mischief. Soon, a strange friendship blossoms between the peculiar trio, and they decide to form the Pastime Club, where they are free to resume their daily hijinks. Whether it be failing to learn English, trying desperately to become popular, or getting caught by teachers at the wrong time. Wrong time, alright. School life will never be boring when the girls of Asobi Asobase are up to their hilarious antics. And that is definitely not a very great synopsis, because that didn't really tell us much about anything, but also I think this is one of those shows that is extremely hard to explain, because you've either seen it and you know what this is, or you haven't seen it, and you have no idea. And the only way I could explain this would be to explain the jokes, which is not fun for anyone. Nobody enjoys having jokes explained to them. Last? No. Don't know it? Yeah. I believe it. It is one of those popular seasonal shows. 2018 when it came out, yeah. Studio Lurch. Great ED. Is all I've got to say for this one. And all in all, this one is difficult. Stuff is happening in the background, don't mind me. I'm being distracted because I'm easily distractible. This was a great show. That synopsis is not great. We'll probably not make it into top 25 for me. That's the thing, right? I love this show. And I will definitely put it above a lot of the shows here. But is it a top 25 anime? I don't think so. I think this is one of those, like... It's one of those shows that's great when it came out. But, like, nobody's going to be talking... I mean, nobody's talking about it now, so that kind of proves my point. Right? It's not a show that's... It's not a show that's carried on beyond its season. It's a thing that happened, a flash moment in history, and it was over. People enjoyed it, but it is over. We're moving on now. There's other stuff. That is basically how I would describe that show. It existed. It was a lot of fun. I loved it. And that ED is great. But I would never sit there and be like, yep, this is pinnacle, this is some pinnacle anime right here. This is absolutely what you should be watching. Are you not watching this one? Well, then you were, I don't know. I don't know. It's extremely subjective and lives in its own time. Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Which means Subitaka Ethninadu is gone. And I think I'm putting it in 23rd. Asobi Asobase. For a second, I actually forgot the name. That could have been bad. Yes, this is top 23 overall. What's it called? I don't remember. Top 25 anime. You know, that one anime that I don't remember. It's great. Love it. Absolutely wonderful. Alright, Cowboy Bebop is the next show on the list. And, you know, I think it was Demolition D who once said it so well. Is Cowboy Bebop overrated? Yeah, no shit when it's an 11. The show is absolutely 100% seriously overrated. End of discussion. But that's not really what we're here to discuss. It's whether or not it's overrated. It's whether or not it's top 25 worthy. And I am, once again, one of those people that definitely do overrate this show. You can even say that. I think this show is great. I love it. Top 10, at least for me. Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. Top 10. Top 10 seems like a good spot. Top 10. So that would then mean basically above Gin. Gin Nagarabushi. Ginga Nagarabushi Gin. Which I definitely think it is. I think it's a better show than Gin. No question. Ping Pong the animation, is it better or worse then? Am I really about to put Cowboy Bebop below NHK and the Eccentric Family? See, this is kind of my point. This is why I wanted to do it, and I wanted to do it this way, because I'm definitely starting to see some strange things. Because this is not... If I were to do this, like ignoring exactly what shows are here, but if I were to do this, just pick the top 25 anime in general, this list would not be looking like this. There are some shows here that I definitely think would be... Even some shows that I see here that if they were to make it, they would be swapped around. So I think this is kind of interesting. Because you sort of see this pattern happen. Sometimes it's like, man, yeah, I definitely think this show is better than this show. But do I really think that show is better than this other show that I haven't put on the list yet? It's like, that's weird. Because I don't necessarily think this show is better than that show. But again, that's because these things are different. You can enjoy stuff for different reasons. And sometimes it's like, strange. It's really awkward. Yeah, it does. NHK down. NHK down 7. Sword Art Online is gone anyways. There's no way in hell that Cowboy Bebop belongs lower on the list than Sword Art Online. That just doesn't happen. That's not real. I think I'm going to put it in 6th. I think it belongs above the Eccentric Family as well. I don't think I would ever say that. Actually, would I? I'm starting to second guess myself. God damn it. No, I wouldn't say the Eccentric Family is better than Cowboy Bebop. And then we go to my Mal and we just say that I've probably given the Eccentric Family a higher score. But you know what? It happens. It's a completely different kind of show. Something Mob Psycho is better than Cowboy. I definitely disagree with you on that one. I don't think it's much worse, but I wouldn't say it's better. But again, that's just my opinion. All right, yeah, no, I think 6 seems good for now. So that is Cowboy Bebop done. We are now at 63. Great Teacher Onizuka, GTO, the best teacher of all time. 1999, 43 episodes. Piero, Delinquent, School and Workplace. 22-year-old Eikichi Onizuka, ex-biker gang leader, conqueror of Shonan, and virgin, very important, has a dream to become the greatest high school teacher in all of Japan. This isn't because of a passion for teaching, but because he wants a loving teenage wife when he's old and gray. Still, for a perverted, greedy, and lazy delinquent, there's more to Onizuka than meets the eye. So when he lands a job as the homeroom teacher of the Class 3-4 at the prestigious Holy Forest Academy, despite suplexing the vice... despite suplexing the vice president, the vice principal, all of his talents are put to the test, as this class is particularly infamous. Due to their utter contempt for all teachers, the class's students use psychological warfare to mentally break any new homeroom teacher they get, forcing them to quit and leave school. However, Onizuka isn't your average teacher, and he's ready for any challenge in his way. Bullying, suicide, and sexual harassment are just a few of the issues his students face daily. By tackling the roots of their problems, Onizuka supports them with his unpredictable and unconventional methods, even if it means jumping off a building to save a suicidal child. Thanks to his eccentric charm and fun-loving nature, Class 3-4 slowly learns just how enjoyable school can be when you're the pupil of the great teacher Onizuka. Because it's so good. For a rainy day. Yeah. I feel that. I have a few of those. Ooh, Great Teacher Onizuka is peak nostalgia for me. Really love watching it. Same. Great show. Absolutely. No question about it for me. This show is a classic. This is an absolute classic show and just so much fun. It's got so many different aspects to it. It's got comedy. It's got heart. It's got so much. And I definitely rate this show highly. And then once again, it brings the question, is it top 25 highly? In which case, I would definitely say... yes, it is definitely top 25. Is it higher than Flying Witch? I don't think it is. Is it higher than Kuroko no Basket? Maybe. Is it higher than Rainbow? I think so. Or back, yeah, it's definitely above Noragami. I like Great Teacher Onizuka way more than Noragami. I think I like it more than Beck. I think I like it more than Rainbow, and I might like it more than Kuroko no Basket. 15th then. Yes, Gosik is gone. Above Madoka, definitely not that high. I don't like it that much. I don't like it that high. I'm not that big of a fan of it. Below Flying Witch, maybe. Below Flying Witch, maybe. You know what? What the hell? Why not? Why the hell not? Great Teacher Onizuka. GTO. Now Asobi Asobase is in 25th. Which brings us to Shinsekai Yori. Shinsekai Yori from the New World. Shinsekai Yori. 2012. This was also A1, isn't it? Yep. Because, like I said, I don't like A1. Psychological theme. My kind of show. Definitely based on Brave New World. Or inspired by Brave New World. Very inspired. And yeah. 25 episodes, 2012. In the town of Kamisu 66, 12-year-old Saki Watanabe has just awakened to her psychic powers, and is relieved to rejoin her friends. The mischievous Satoru Asahina, the shy Mamoru Ito, the cheerful Maria Akitsuki, and Shun Aonuma, a mysterious boy whom Saki admires, at Sage Academy, a special school for psychics. However, unease looms as Saki begins to question the fate of those unable to awaken to their powers, and the children begin to get involved with secretive matters such as the rumored tainted cats said to abduct children. Shinsekai Yori tells the unique coming-of-age story of Saki and her friends as they journey to grow into their roles in the supposed utopia. Accepting these roles, however, might not come easy when faced with the dark and shocking truths of society and the impending havoc born from the new world. The opening lives rent-free in my head. Oh, dude, it is so good. Driver's High is such a classic. Shinsekai Yori. Shinsekai Yori. I'm pretty sure this is one of those shows that I've given a very high rating as well, because I do really like this. The problem I'm facing now is whether or not it deserves such a high rating in comparison to some of these other shows that I know have a lower rating. Always looking back at these and comparing stuff up to each other again is always weird. Scoring is difficult, especially when you're like me and you don't really care. Because these scores don't mean anything, really. They're just a gut feeling that I have, because I'm already putting it on my list, might as well accompany it with a score. Which is why I'm doing it this way, and not looking at my scores. Above Beck, I think. Above Beck, I think. Above 18th, yeah. Above Rainbow. Below Kuroko no Basket. Below Great Teacher Mizuka, I think so. Shinsekai Yori. Yori. Shinsekai Yori. There we go. Could be good. 61. I just saw 61 is Attack on Titan. That's the last thing we're gonna have to. Ooh, that's gonna be interesting for part 2. Maybe ranking anime needs more than one axis. You could give them like 6 different stats to rank them by, like fun quality, drama, animation, pay. So, 100%, I agree. And in sort of like a traditional review setting, I would definitely agree with you to sort of like, if you're, I kind of hate to say this, but like, if you were trying to achieve sort of like an objective, unbiased score, you would definitely try to rate every aspect of an anime up against each other. The problem, again, comes from the fact that not every anime tries to do the same thing, and all the ratings given to these specific parts of an anime still are subjective scores. You don't really get an objective score by putting a bunch of subjective scores together, although it is probably better than just slapping an arbitrary number on it. However, like I said, the scores for which these anime have been, or I've given these anime, doesn't consist of any reviews or any objective view on anything. It consists of me watching a show, I then finish watching the show, I click complete on my anime list, and I slap a score on it. That score means nothing. That score literally means nothing. It can mean anything. I gave it an 8. Sure. What does that mean? It means it means I probably liked it. Probably liked it a lot, even. But it doesn't necessarily mean that like, I rate this on the same wavelength as every other 8 show I've ever watched. It does not work like that. Yeah, it would definitely take some time. Yeah, I mean, as I've already established, I'm not gonna get through all of these in this one stream. All the 100, I probably should have stopped at 50 thinking about it, but you know, I was definitely expecting to go a little bit faster. But it is fine. It's fine. I don't mind. I just don't. I've already been streaming for 3 hours, and I don't plan on doing this for another. I don't plan on sitting up all night doing this. So I think breaking it up into 2 parts is better. But yeah, we did indeed. Yeah, Shinsekai Yori, right? Yeah. God damn it, I got sidetracked. I was like, did I put the show in? Yes, I did. So it's Anohana that is up next. Anohana. Flower we saw that day. The TV series, not the movie. Orange was 50. Shouldn't take long. Nah. True that. So Anohana. The flower we saw that day. They want pictures again. Man, they did everything. drama show. Drama, just straight up drama. Jinta Yadomi is peacefully living as a recluse. You know, as one does. Spending his days away from school and playing video games at home instead. One hot summer day, his childhood friend, Meiko Menma Honma, appears and pesters him to grant a forgotten wish. He pays her no mind, because, you know, when you get haunted by ghosts, you of course just ignore them. Which annoys her. But he doesn't really care. After all, Menma already died years ago. At first, Jinta thinks that he is merely hallucinating due to the summer heat, but he is later on convinced that what he sees truly is the ghost of Menma. Jinta and his group of childhood friends grew apart after her untimely death, but they are drawn together once more as they try to lay Menma's spirit to rest, reliving their pain and guilt. Will they be able to find the strength to not only help Menma move on, but themselves as well? This show is an emotional roller coaster. Not only because, you know, on paper, the premise seems pretty straightforward. I mean, you're introduced immediately to the fact that this girl, Menma, he's dead. So, you know, what's so sad about that? What's so sad about that? My friend likes to say a lot. What's sad? The conclusion to this is that she is dead. I mean, yeah, we've known that the entire time. That's not the point. This show has multiple assets to it, or multiple facets to it. One is friends coming back, you know, friends who grew apart coming back together. And these are friends that were torn apart by a horrific moment in their childhood coming back together. And it's not only about it's not only just about like accepting, coming to terms with what has happened, but it is about accepting it and accepting that it has happened and that you can't let those things sort of keep weighing on you. But that is very hard, especially when it's somebody that was close to you. Somebody that's very close to you in this case. The show is just straight up that I'm not even gonna lie, like, this show brought tears to my eyes. It didn't quite make me like start sobbing, but god damn it, it definitely hit something in me. And I didn't think that was possible. Because that had up until well, actually there was one show before, Angel Beats before this, that kind of did the same thing, but it's a very exclusive list. Although this one is a little bit less exploitative, in my opinion. But it is what it is. So Anohana is a great show. Does it belong in top 25? It definitely belongs in this top 25. It might even belong in a top 25. I can see people make the argument. It's a good anime. It is square in the feels. I think Menma as a character is a bit trying to be emotionally manipulative, but the rest of the group is quite interesting. I don't really think so, because, like, her character essentially just sets the premise right away, right? Because it's not like you are made to be attached to a character that will later die. She is already dead. You know this. They hit you square in the face with it right from the get-go. This person died. You could say it's a little bit manipulative, learning about, like, her past, I guess. But it's like, I don't know. I wouldn't exactly say it's manipulative. I'd say Angel Beats is a lot more manipulative in that regard. But yeah. Nah, it's although you also know that they're dead, but that's a bit different in my opinion. But regardless, I think Anohana is very good. I think it's better than High School DxD. I definitely think it's better than High School DxD. And I think I'm going to put it in 11th, above Gin. I think it belongs pretty high. Over Flying Witch, yep. Over Great Teacher Onizuka, yep. Over Made in Abyss, yep. Over One Punch Man, yep. Yeah, I think that is a good spot. I like Anohana a lot. Just above Kuroko, 17th then. No, I think it's better than Great Teacher Onizuka. I think it's better than Flying Witch. Yeah, I think for me, 11th is good. I like 11th. I like 11th. I like 11th as a spot. 11 is a nice ring too. There we go. Now we're down to 60. Now we're down to the last 10. Claymore is up next. And this one is fast. This one's going to be very fast. Claymore, 2007. Madhouse. 26 episodes. Didn't end. Doesn't have an ending. It's a shame. Because this show at its best is very good. But that's the thing. It's at its best and it's very good. At its worst, it's not that great. It has some pretty bad moments, in my opinion. But overall, the overall package is pretty good. But the biggest downfall is the fact that it doesn't have an ending. It never ended. So you are forever sat here with an incomplete, at least in the anime, you are forever sat here with an incomplete anime. That sucks. It really sucks. It really fucking sucks. Because I like Claymore. I like Claymore a lot. It was an experience. So yeah, Claymore's easy. Not 25. Not 25 at all. Which then brings us to Rurouni Kenshin. Wait a minute. Why is Rurouni Kenshin on this list? I know Rurouni Kenshin is a TV series. But why did I forgot my own rules. Sorry, I can't put this here. Because I've actually not seen the TV series. I put this here because I've seen the OVA. So that immediately skips that one too. I can't really put a TV series I haven't seen yet on the on the list of top 25 best anime of all time. So that'll be a little weird. But that one does not belong there. That should have been one that I cut then. But whatever. We're just gonna get through it a little bit faster now, I guess. This show hit it out of far for me, but stop short that kill. Yeah, basically, like I said, the best part of Claymore is great. There's just no other way to say it. It's great. Clanad. Speaking of emotional manipulative, who likes key stuff? Clanad after story. Key has to be the absolute master of emotional manipulation. A great show. I enjoyed it a lot. 23 episodes, first season, and then another, 24, yeah, for the sequel. Part of this group of anime that everybody kept telling you have to watch this because you are going to cry. And I forgot to add this into one of the shows that have actually made me cry, so yes. This, I completely forgot. I completely blanked on this one while I was thinking of that, but yeah. This show is special to me, and I rate this very highly. So top 25 of all time? For me, I would say yeah. I would definitely say yeah. Would I put it above Anohana? I think I would. I actually think I would. Moe's most exaggerated form. Kind of. And it's just blunt. Tomoya and Nagisa that carry the show so hard. I would agree that Nagisa is not the best character. I agree. I don't know about that. Most exaggerated form? Nah. I mean, the Monogatari series is being dropped out. It sure does. Get out of here, Nisio Isin. Who said you made great stuff? Not me. Oh, this is tough. This is actually difficult. Because now I have the Fate Zero problem again. I know my score for this show. And I know that that is very high. It's extremely high. You might even say you couldn't go any higher. But it's a long time since I watched it. We are then probably looking at a very high finish on this list, and we could probably say that it belongs up around Fate Zero. Does it belong above Monster? Does it belong above Madoka Magic? I think it belongs above Madoka Magica for me, personally. The cutoff point then becomes Monster. Chat is nothing. Okay, we're leaving this one up to me. Above Fate Zero, above Monster, below Monster, above Monster. I think I would do this. If it was only Clannad After Story we were talking about, I could have been convinced to put it above Monster, but I'm obviously talking about the entire thing. Which I think would put it below Monster. Which is weird, because Monster definitely has a lower score than Clannad does. Even base Clannad. For me. On my list. But I think I feel fine with this for now. We can always do a final look through over the list when I've done part 2 and we're completely done with it and see if there's anything we would change then. But for now, I think this is fine. I think Clannad being below Monster is fine. I don't think Clannad is not top 25. You sure? That's fine. I disagree, but that is fine. Spice and Wolf. Guess up next. Beloved light novel series. Very good. If you enjoy economics, this was fun. 2 seasons. Imagine Studio. Don't know much about them. Hollow is a powerful wolf deity who is revered in the small town of Paslo for blessing the annual harvest. Yet as years go by and the villagers become more self-sufficient, Hollow has been reduced to a mere folktale. When a traveling merchant named Kraft Lawrence stops at the settlement, Hollow offers to become his business partner, if he takes her to the northern home of Yoitsu. The savvy trader recognizes Hollow's unusual ability to evaluate a person's character and accepts her proposition. Now in the possession of both sharp bargaining skills and a charismatic negotiator, Lawrence inches closer to his goal of opening his own shop. However, as Lawrence travels the countryside with Hollow in search of economic opportunities, he begins to realize that his aspirations are slowly morphing into something unexpected. Great show. Great show. Great show. I love this show. Adult cast. Who doesn't love some economy? I should rewatch this actually. I had a lot of economy classes lately, so I should actually rewatch this show now. This would be the most appropriate moment for me to reconsider the show, I guess. I do like it, though. It's a good show. Top 25 of all time. Is it? Is it actually? If it was top 25, it would definitely be in this sort of bottom range. Might be better than Origami. It might not be. I don't know. Do I like it more than Haikyuu? This is difficult. This is difficult because it's so different to these shows. These are not the same. Hold on a second. Alright. So, where were we? I think Planetus goes. I think I do this. I think it goes above Haikyuu as well. Spice, and Wolf. I think that seems like a good spot. Maybe above... No, nah, I think... No, I enjoy more, Noragami more, I think. And... Oh, different. Alright. Let's leave it there for now. Do-da-da-da. What's up next? Do-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Driven. Do-da-da-da. Winter 2010. TV 24 episodes. Brain space. Light up. It's not Bakano, it's do-da-da. And I like Bakano more than do-da-da-da. I definitely like Bakano more than do-da-da-da. In Tokyo's downtown district of Ikebukuro, amid many strange rumors and warnings of anonymous gangs and dangerous occupants, one urban legend stands out above the rest. The existence of a headless black rider, who is said to be seen driving a jet black motorcycle through the city streets. Mikado Ryugamine has always longed for the excitement of the city life, and an invitation from a childhood friend convinced him to move to Tokyo. Witnessing the Black Rider on his first day in the city, his wishes already seem to have been granted. But as supernatural events begin to occur, ordinary citizens like himself, along with Ikebukuro's most colorful inhabitants, are mixed up in the commotion breaking out in their city. Yeah, this one's great. So, similar style to something like Bakano, it is just sort of more sort of being centered around the main character. It's sort of centered around a space and a place and a time, being Ikebukuro. Yeah, and you sort of follow all the characters in there and how their stories sort of intertwine. It's a very interesting form of storytelling, and I like it. It's not necessarily a linear story, and it jumps around a lot. Makes it a very interesting watch. I don't think it was all... Like, it started out very good. It was very good. As it kept going, I think it kind of lost its charm a little bit for me, personally, but it's still good. I still love this show. And because of that, I think Durara misses out, actually. I don't know if I'd rate it higher than Haikyuu, and I kind of don't want to rate it higher than Macross either, which might be my bias, but I don't know, man. I like Durara more than Macross. Well, this one was probably like Durara might be 26th. 25 at best will fall off after, pretty much. I think I'll keep Macross in for a little longer, just so I can say that I have. And yeah, this one will also be quick, because we have Akame ga Kill. Who remembers this show? Not the manga, the TV series. This show with gore at its I was about to say at its finest. That would be a lie, but it is gore. Bloody murders, edgy, kind of fun. I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. Original ending, kind of lame, very lame actually. And yeah, White Fox Studio. Nah. Yeah, I'm not even going to spend more time on this one. Akame ga Kill does not belong in the top 25. Sorry. You think it does? More the power to you. I don't. Amama to Inazuma is up next. Sweetness and Light. This one is wholesome as all hell. Iyashike, I am a big fan of Iyashike type of shows. I love just relaxing stuff. There's something about the solo dad life. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's neat. It's a nice backdrop for what is essentially a food show. I love this show. 7.53 I think is a crime. I think it's way better than that. Get your act together, Mal. What are you doing? What is the top 25? Did I give it a 9? Probably. If my memory serves correctly. Meaning that it would technically fit into the top 25. But am I comfortable to say that it is in de facto top 25 anime? I don't think I am. I don't think I am. Sorry. Sweetness and Lightning, you do not belong here. If this was a top 25 most coziest shows, 100%, it would be one of the top shows. Be one of the best shows of all time. That is not what this list is. This list is unfair. Aria the Animation is the next one on the list. And, you know, again, this is an absolute crime. It's multiple, we've got multiple seasons, obviously. And it just gets better and worse and better and worse. But we are not here to rate the OVAs. We are here to rate the TV series, or the movies for that matter. And again, it might not be obvious to everyone. This is Aria 2. Sorry. This one. It might not be obvious to everyone, but this is my favorite show of all time. Our filmmaker, Iyashike again. This is one of the goddamn best coming-of-age stories I've ever seen. I love this. I watched all of the anime. I've read the manga. Both Aqua and Aria. I own it. So, of course, I could pretend and say that, I don't know, man. I don't know if I would be comfortable putting it here. But that would be me playing up the audience and trying to pretend like I have taste. Which I do. I have the best taste. Which is why I'm willing to do this. Is it the best anime of all time? 100%. Gotta be a good show. What's it about? So basically, it's about Neo Venezia. It's about Akari Mizunashi. She is sort of traveling from Earth to Mars, which has been renamed as Manhome is Earth, and Aqua is Mars. So she travels to Neo Venezia, which is like a remake of Venezia, because she has a dream of becoming an Undine, which is a highly skilled sort of tour guide a gondola riding tour guide. And the entire show is basically just about her trying to achieve that. Training, making new friends, cats, supernatural events, cozy, warm, fussy feelings, discovering the beauty of everyday life. There's so many things to this. It all basically ultimately comes down to the fact that I love these characters more than anything else in this entire world. And I am also not even afraid to say that this show has also made me cry, which is quite possibly the greatest feat of any show, because this show isn't even sad. At least the other shows that have made me cry or almost cried has been sad shows. This show is not even remotely sad. It doesn't even try to be sad. Still made me cry. Rigged. Listen here, man. Yes, it's rigged. That's the thing. This entire list, this entire thing was rigged from the start. There was never any question that this wasn't rigged. I am the chief here. I am in command. I make the decisions. So yeah, Aria the Animation is the best anime of all time. 100% objectively speaking. Definitely not biased. Not biased at all. Ooh, we only have 2 shows left before we're gonna call it quits and do part 2 another time. Oh, exciting. And the next one up is Snafu, or My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu. やはり俺の青春ラブコンは間違っている。 My youth romantic comedy is wrong as I expected. This too was once one of my favorite shows of all time. Once Upon a Time. That's a long time ago. A very long time ago. The show got too pretentious towards the final seasons. I can see it. I can see it. I can see the argument. Still love it though. Biased as fuck. But again, this is a matter of whether or not this belongs in the top 25 of all time. I guess if we can quickly go over the synopsis. Hachiman Hikigaya is an apathetic high school student with narcissistic and semi-nihilistic tendencies. He firmly believes that joyful youth is nothing but a farce, and everyone who says otherwise is just lying to themselves. In a novel punishment for writing an essay mocking modern social relationships, Hachiman's teacher forces him to join the Volunteer Service Club, a club that aims to extend a helping hand to any student who seeks their support in achieving their goal. With the only other club member being the beautiful ice queen Yukino Yukinoshita, Hachiman finds himself on the front line of other people's problems, a place he never dreamed he would be, as Hachiman and Yukino use their wits to solve many students' problems. Will Hachiman's rotten view of society prove to be a hindrance or a tool he can use to his advantage? There's a few I never watched because I wanted to wait for the anime to end. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Although I think it did, right? It definitely did end the adapt everything, right? I think so. Don't quote me on that. At this point. Yes, it did. Okay. So, Snafu. Where does this belong in top 25? Does it belong above Beck? Does it belong above Spice and Wolf? Does it belong above Haikyuu? And I would say it does. It belongs above Haikyuu, and I think it belongs above Spice and Wolf. I like Snafu, and I don't care who knows. So for now, it'll be here. I don't think I would put this as a top 25 personally. And it will definitely be going out of this list. But for now, I think 24th is a good spot. I think it ended finally a few seasons ago. Yeah. That's what I thought. That is what I thought. Wrong one. This one. We are now going to Orange, which is a drama. Remember time traveling? Remember time traveling? Telecom animation film. 13 episodes. Drama. Naho Takamiya's first day of her sophomore year in high school is off to an uneasy start. After waking up late, she receives a strange letter addressed to her. However, the letter is from herself, 10 years in the future. At first, Naho is skeptical of the note. Yet, after witnessing several events described to take place, she realizes the letter really is from her 26-year-old self. Because of course. The note details that Nao's future life is filled with regrets, and she hopes that her younger self can correct the mistakes that were made in the past. The letter also warns her to keep a close eye on the new transfer student, Kakeru Naruse. Naho must be especially careful in making decisions involving him, as Kakeru is not around in the future. With a letter as her guide, Nao now has the power to protect Kakeru before she comes to regret it once more. Orange is forgettable. I agree. I 100% agree. I enjoyed it a lot when it came out. I enjoyed the show. Yeah, I enjoyed the show when it came out. 7.62, I would say, is probably about right. I have it at a higher score than that, I know, but I definitely think that could be it. That's a decent score for this show. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's top 25, and as such, I will not even waste time considering it. It does not go in here. It does not belong above Spice and Wolf at all. Alright then, I guess that leaves us with the last 50. Yeah, I guess Orange was the last one. Alright. So yeah, Like I said, originally I planned to do this all in one go, but sadly, it looks like I'm gonna have to stretch this out to 2 parts. Oh no. 2 streams. Aww. But it is what it is. We still have more to do. And at the end, I'm gonna rearrange the entire top 25 in case that is necessary. But that depends on how things look when we get to that point. Again, this is mostly for fun and definitely, once again, 100% targeted at you and serious and objective. If you're mad at it, just keep that in mind. It was fun. I'm glad you enjoyed. It's not what I wanted to do originally for the year. I was definitely hoping to get a video out for you guys. It's sort of been what I've been working on for a long time. My problem has really been I haven't been able to stick to making one video. I have started like 3 videos. And yeah, I never finished any of them. But they're still in the works, and they will be out, but, you know, next year. I still have another 2 weeks left of my vacation as well, so I should have something out before my vacation is done. Like, honestly, if I haven't been able to get anything out before my vacation is done, then it's about time that you guys start yelling at me or something, because, like, we can't be procrastinating that hard. I know I have time off now, but Jesus Christ. You should do this kind of stuff more often, so doing it in 2 parts is better. Well, I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm glad you guys seem to be having fun with this. Like I said, I do stream on Twitch. I don't stream anime stuff, so don't feel forced to go over there. But it is definitely something that I have been wanting to do. I do want to do more anime-related streams. Not necessarily top 25s and stuff like that. This is just kind of thrown together. But like, I do want to do more anime-specific stuff on stream. And yeah, that would definitely be something that I then do on YouTube, because this is the home of my anime content. So yeah, I will definitely try to do more anime-related streams in the future. That is one of the things that I wanted to kind of wanted to talk a little bit about before I end. It is a goal of mine to have more anime-related streams. I won't say I'm going to do them regularly, but I would definitely try to have a couple of anime-related streams next year on my channel. I will say a couple a year, like 4 a year maybe. I think that would be a good number to set. Then I can easily overcome it if that's if it's something people actually want, and then if not, you know, it is what it is. We should also say 0 is too high because the ending goes nowhere. Yeah, it's great. 100% with more of your streams. That's good. That's fun. Thanks. I'm glad. I definitely disagree with you on Fate Zero, but that is fine. Again, it's opinions. Whatever. Doesn't really matter. Yeah. So the last thing I kind of wanted to mention as well, like, kind of should have done this beforehand, I guess. As well as sort of what I have plans for the channel going forward, and I'm not gonna change anything. Like, it's not any drastic changes that I'm gonna make. But one thing that I'm definitely in the sort of market of looking for is to market something that is like can make me a little bit more marketable. And I don't mean that to change my content. I'm not gonna start being like, oh, I'm gonna review the latest anime now. I'm gonna do that. I'm still gonna do mostly retro stuff, and just in general stuff that I enjoy. But I definitely feel like my channel needs something to make it a little bit more recognizable. In case you haven't looked at my channel lately, you will know that my icon is just Foss wearing a Top Scholar hat, because that's kind of why I came up with the name in the first place. And my banner is, well, about as basic as it can get. So that's definitely something that I'm going to be looking for. I'm definitely going to be trying to get some art and stuff commissioned to try to get some more, like, you know, a little bit more of an identity to my channel. I'm also thinking of potentially getting like a bust character drawn, and having that sort of be the new face of the channel. Those are ideas that I have going for the channel for this year, which is hopefully something I can achieve. So yeah, I'm not going to set any sort of, I don't want to set any like subscriber goals for myself. But like, I think the biggest goal I should have is trying to regularly upload, not just, you know, what has been, but it's kind of had to be. I am I'm almost done with my final half a year of digital marketing, so and that has kind of been the thing that bothers me the most. I'm doing digital marketing, and then I look at my channel, I'm like, bro, where's the marketing? But yeah, nah. That is basically all I have to say, and that is basically all I had to do today. So yeah, once again, hope you guys had fun. It was fun streaming. It was exhausting. I was tired, but it was fun. And I definitely want to do this more in the future. So hopefully if I do more in the future, you guys will still be interested in it. And hopefully it hasn't been too exhausting having to deal with me. Work at your own pace. Your videos are always awesome when you get them. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. All right. Well, it was fun. I'll see you guys over New Year sometime. For another one. That's right. Hope everybody has a great New Year. All right. Peace.